Good evening and welcome to this session of the live virtual coaching classes organized by the Board of Studies of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Yesterday, we had some disturbance and that made me thinking, I always say that in India, we have this tradition of worshipping the five elements. We worship fire, we worship water and all that. So I think one more element has joined us, that is internet connection. You see, before we start anything, we pacify all the elements, by chanting some slokas and all that. So I think there is a need for now pacifying the god of internet also. So let's create one more god, because we've got so many of these gods in India. Let's create one more god for internet and, play to that god that, nothing should happen. In fact, there's a very ancient chant from the Upanishad, the Shantipat. It's also a chant chanted by the Guru to his Shishyas, or you can say to his students, or to those who have come to listen to him, whatever. And it's a very famous chant. You must be knowing it also. Sahana vavatu, sahana bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahe, tejasvinavadhitamastu, mavidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So let us hope that today we are somewhat protected and that our studies will not be disturbed by internet connection. I'm also thankful to all those people who are here. Muhammad Aslam is here, Shivlani ji is here, Jyoti Jha is here. Okay. I'm missing Abdul. Maybe he will come with a question. Yes, thank you, Mr. Chetan, for that. So, very good, Mohammad ji. You have completed till chapter 5 and revised till OPC. Excellent. So, that means that you should be able to give me a lot of support in terms of inputs whenever I need it. Yesterday, we did go through all this, so I'm not going to waste your time. And today, I'm so sorry, you will have to go on till 9 p.m. today. We'll have a small break in the middle. Then we'll go on till 9 p.m. Otherwise, we cannot complete the content because of my internet problem yesterday. So prepare yourself emotionally and mentally for that. So we've seen all this. I don't want to waste your time. Maybe it was at this stage that there was some sort of disturbances. So basically theory. This only talks about what is to be filed and all that. And what are the details to be given, etc., etc. And so the SPICE form is a very interesting form wherein you can apply for the name, also DIN for 3, director identification number for 3 directors, and also the usual incorporation stuff. It's a single form for complete processing. It's a beautiful format, simplified pro forma for incorporating company electronically. So SPICE, that's how it becomes SPICE form. It's a nice form. So as I said, at the end of your incorporation activity, we have a document called electronically generated document called an incorporation, certificate of incorporation. This is a very important document. It also contains the SIN, corporate identity number. Okay, it will be mentioned in the certificate of incorporation. And so the company comes into existence on the date mentioned in the certificate of incorporation. It becomes a distinct entity with all the concomitant benefits and commitments. We already saw that the company shall maintain and preserve at its registered office copies of all documents and information, etc., etc. Now, suppose, we already said that the people who are incorporating the company, the directors or a professional, has to give a certificate that all the provisions have been correctly complied with. Also, there is a duty not to give false or incorrect particulars about directors, or even suppression. Please understand, I might give you a false data or I might not give you vital information. So, knowingly suppressing material information, very important, knowingly suppressing material information at the time of incorporation. It's very important. That is why if you don't answer the questions correctly, they will not incorporate also many times. Okay. So if any false information is provided or incorrect particulars are provided, etc., during the incorporation process. Okay. Then the person furnishing such information. Suppose the company is already incorporated by furnishing any false or incorrect information or representation, or by suppressing any material fact, or by any fraudulent action. That is, the first limb is during incorporation process, the MCA discovers that there is an incorrect or false furnishing of information, etc. Company is already incorporated. Post-incorporation, it comes to the attention. Post-incorporation, it comes to the attention of the MCA that this has happened. Then the promoters, okay, the persons named as the first directors of the company, and the persons making the declaration, whoever made the declaration, all of them shall be liable for action for fraud under section 447. 447 is a very, very powerful section. I will be talking about it when I come to prospectus, because there also you will find there is a punishment under section 447. It's a huge penalty. 3 times the amount involved, 10 lakhs, 10 years imprisonment, 6 months imprisonment and all. It's a detailed section. We will cover it when we come there. All you need to understand is, in case false information is provided either during the incorporation process or it is discovered post-incorporation, then the person furnishing such information during incorporation, or in case of post-incorporation, the promoters, the persons named as the first directors of the company, and the persons making the declaration, all will be liable for action for fraud under section 447. Suppose company already incorporated by furnishing any false information or incorrect information or representation, or by suppressing any material fact, or by any fraudulent action. See, company has already been incorporated by doing this. Okay. Now, the tribunal, once it becomes apprised of it, the central government will present the matter to the tribunal. Then the tribunal can pass orders in this manner. That is, false information has been provided, company has been incorporated. Now the central government has to take action. For that, they will file a petty or the complaint to the tribunal. The tribunal will take the decision. You might please understand the power to pass order. See, suppose false information is discovered during the incorporation process, the company will not be incorporated. And the person furnishing such information will be brought before the tribunal. And in both cases, the tribunal may, on application made to it. So, an application is made to it, it will pass suitable orders as it may think fit for regulation of the management of the company in public interest or in the interest of the company and its members and creditors. This could include making changes in MOA or OA. The idea is the company has already come into existence. So they may pass order for regulation of the management of the company in public interest or in the interest of the company and its members and creditors. Direct that the liability of the members shall be unlimited, because after all, why did we go through this process of incorporation under the Companies Act? To enjoy limited liability, so that we will be protected from any problems, creditors, etc. But they say, come on, you have given false information, you have incorporated this company, then even if you say the liability is limited, we will declare by order that the liability of the members shall be unlimited. Or if it is impossible, the company is so fraudulently incorporated, better you don't have such a company, then they will direct the removal of the name of the company from the register of company. This is possible if nothing has happened. If this is possible, if nothing has happened, that is the company has not acquired assets, cannot borrow money, etc., then you can remove the name. But suppose in the meantime the company has borrowed money or accepted share capital, acquired assets, etc., you cannot write off the name, remove the name, strike off the name. So they will then pass an order for winding up of the company. So later on, when you come to final, you will learn winding up is the process of bringing the company to an end. Winding up is the process. Dissolution is the end. Winding up is the process. All the assets will be sold, creditors will be paid off, then preference shareholders, then shareholders. Finally, nothing remains. then 0, then the company will be dissolved. The process is called winding up. So they will pass an order for winding up or pass such other orders as it may deem fit. Okay. So before the order is passed by the tribunal, the company shall be given a reasonable opportunity of being heard in the matter. See, the National Company Law Tribunal, NCLT, is a quasi-judicial body. It is not a court, but it is like a court. So it has to follow what is known as the principles of natural justice. So one of the principles of natural justice is the other party should be given a reasonable opportunity of being heard. What is reasonable will differ. So they will be given 45 days, 30 days time to respond. Still they don't give any response, then the order will be passed. But reasonable opportunity should be given for the other party to be heard. This is very important. That is why this particular power is not given to the central government, MCA. This is given to the quasi-judicial body called Tribunal, which has to follow natural justice. But keep in mind, even the government officials now who are sitting in certain functions, they are actually employing a quasi-judicial function. Not the MCA, the regional director is not a quasi-judicial body. But the income tax officer, who is hearing your hearing under section 143 or 147, he is not a quasi-judicial body, but he has certain quasi-judicial powers and also quasi-judicial duties to ensure that a reasonable opportunity is being offered. So that is why whenever you are representing later on in your life, always put in this word. When they are trying to hurry up the process, you mention, it is prayed that a reasonable opportunity of being heard may be given to the assessee or the appellant as the case may be, and we may be permitted to file the details called for on a certain date, on which date it will be filed without fail. Suppose you put this line in that letter, fellow, we can't do anything because that would be a violation of his quasi-judicial function. Later on, suppose he passes an order ignoring your letter request, you can go to court on a writ. And this wording will make it powerful. See, these are the things you have to pick up from law paper. How to, use it. So, I'm getting a lot of questions, but I'm going to conclude the topic and then only. So, the tribunal shall take into consideration the transactions entered into by the company, including the obligations, if any, contracted. I said, suppose they have already borrowed money or taken share capital, then all that has to be considered. You can't just like that wind up the company or remove the name of the company. You should give importance to everybody. That's all. This is a very fairly simple concept. Don't waste your time asking questions on this. This is important. We will go into it. Before that, any important question, I will answer it. Okay. What is difference between removal of name? Muhammad Aslam, you have put some information, 50 lakh equal to maximum. I don't know what it is. If you are a little more elaborate, I will acknowledge it. Otherwise, please do not put cryptic comments like this in the query pad. Ask a question only in the query pad. Aslamji, do not put comment in the query pad. Okay? Only questions in the query pad. If you have a question, ask a question. Or if you want to add something, specifically say what you are adding and I will be more than happy to acknowledge what you have put there. What is difference between removal of name and winding up? Good point. Quickly, not relevant for you, but quickly for knowledge sake. When the company's balance sheet has nothing, no assets, no liabilities, it is called defunct company. No activity for 3 years, nothing. Then instead of winding up the company, which is an elaborate process, the registrar has the power to strike off the name of the company. This is called removal. Simply, they will remove the name of the company from the register. And that's it. With that, it will be no longer, it's dead. That's all. As deemed to be dissolved. Whereas winding up is a long-winded process by which the assets will be sold, liabilities will be paid, and the liquidator will be there. Then finally, he will file an application to the tribunal. Tribunal will pass an order of dissolution. Then in that case, it will be dissolved. Okay. This can be compulsory, means in certain circumstances, the tribunal will order that the company should be wound up, like in this case. Or in some other cases, the company itself may voluntarily decide to wind up. Either way, there will be a long-winded process in winding up, whereas in removal of name, removal is possible only if there are no transactions. Balance sheet should be zilch, share capital losses, something like that. Becomes defunct. No activity for 3 years, then it can be written off. Or as in this case, incorporated, no activity, false information, strike off. Balance sheet is nil, like that. Okay. Question, winding of resolution, all similar. Aslam, don't put comment. Don't put comment. Please. Only use this query pad for asking questions. Winding up, and if there's a question, put a question mark at the end. Winding, I explained now, winding up is the process. Dissolution is the end. When the order of dissolution is passed, company is dead. Okay. Good. I'm giving this only for knowledge, Baba, not relevant for exam at all. Later on, when you come to final, you will learn this. Don't worry. Sir, use your own discretion, Mr. Vora. Whatever you think is appropriate, you do it. So tabular form is also good. Nothing wrong. Points also good. Right? Neatly. That's all. How many companies are in it? I already told you, almost the last count, it was more than 2,000 plus. I don't know. I seriously stopped counting. After 1,500, I stopped counting. It's almost 35, 40 years now. Exactly. Removal of name is deemed to be dissolved. It's a very elaborate section there. Yeah, it will come in final. At that time, you study it. Now you ignore it. Writ has to be filed in High Court, correct? High Court, Supreme Court depends on against which government you are going, what is the subject matter. To go to High Court, usually High Court, jurisdictional High Court. Okay. Yeah, officer in default maximum penalty. Okay, sir. Thank you for the information. NCLT, a department under NC. No, sir. That's a good question. It comes under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, but it is not a department. It is a separate quasi-judicial body. It's good. You better understand about tribunal because we'll be talking about tribunal a lot. See, as I told you, there are three parts of government. Government has three parts: legislature, parliament, executive, ministries. These ministries are meant to implement the law. Now, suppose while implementing the law, they are giving some hardship to the citizens. Who will be giving the relief to the citizen? That is the judiciary. The judiciary will hear the citizen's complaint in the form of plaint, in the form of writ. See, writ means it is a complaint against the government. That's all simple. Writ is a complaint against the government saying, government did this, I am affected, my fundamental rights are violated, please help me. There is a writ. Writ is as old as king. In England, the writ was before the king. The citizen had the right to file a writ before the king, and the king will hear it and pass the order. Nowadays, you have to file it before the High Court, whatever. So, why I am saying now, this means courts are totally, continuously they are having cases, and it becomes difficult. So, specialized cases are pushed to quasi-judicial bodies. So, company law matters are heard by tribunal. Only company law related, SEBI related, corporate law matters come to the insolvency proceedings, etc., come to the National Company Law Tribunal, which is a quasi-judicial body. It comes under the MCA, but is controlled by the Ministry of Law and Justice. There will be a High Court judge sitting as one of the bench members. Chartered accountants will be there. Company secretaries will be there. Members of the bench. And they will hear the matters. Later on, we will be seeing the tribunal regularly. So many applications will be made to the tribunal and all that. If you want to change the registered office from one state to another, tribunal, there's a lot of things. In all the cases, remember, it is a quasi-judicial body like a court, but not a court. Okay, mostly they will sit in the regional headquarters. But also in some of the capital cities also, they will have sittings. They'll come and hear the cases. Yeah, Aslam, I'm only saying don't put comments. Ask questions. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. But don't put comments and things like that. If you want to add some knowledge, put it properly in the form of a sentence, like that, relevantly. Sir, I am also not clear, sir. Abhishek Pandey. If you tell me the answer also, when I don't know the answer, how I can give? Okay, if you are very particular, I'll give the answer. Indirect holding is also allowed for 20%, according to me. But there is no clarity in the section. It looks like 20% should be held directly or indirectly. So even indirect holding will be covered. That's what I feel. I may be wrong, sir. I need some more time to answer your question. I have taken note of it. Give me some time. What do you say? Even Ram gave Ravan 1 day time, no, in the battlefield to go back and give an answer next day. To your teacher, you give him another 15 days time. I will answer. So if you on the point of a sword, if you ask me what can I do, tell me I don't know. My answer is no, I don't know. But good question. It needs research. Give me some time. I will definitely answer it. I'm not trying to avoid it, but I don't want to give you a wrong answer and then be seen as an ass. Let me take some time, do some research and get back to you. And don't use words like extremely sorry and all, Mr. Aslam. You're a good boy. See, you write a summary of the points. You don't write single line, write a summary. Means you put a heading and then write 2 lines. Heading, 2 lines, like that. Can you solve my above query, Tattavarti? Where is the above query? One company incorporated on, I didn't see it, I missed it. One company incorporated on 1/1/2022. When will be financial year end? When will be first AGM? Sir, this is not part of this topic, madam. You will be studying this when you come to management and administration. At that time, it will be answered. Please don't ask a question which is not connected with the topic. See, one incorporated is the only connection here. But this question is on financial year end and AGM, which has not been taught. I have not taught AGM at all. So at that time only first AGM and all will come later. Without teaching, how can I, then we'll be wasting everybody's time. Okay. I am specifically not answering this question, Ji. Satyalakshmi Sai Kumar. It will be answered if at all I am taking management or else whoever faculty taking administration meetings and all that. At that time, kindly ask this question. They will answer it or I will myself answer it. Okay. Is a family court of companies. No, sir. Family court is different. I don't know how you use these concepts. Tribunal is not a family court. It's, yeah, in the sense that family court is a specialized court, but it is part of the High Court. See, family court also is a special, shall we say, division of the High Court. Whereas your tribunal is not a court at all. It is a quasi-judicial body. It is not within the CPC. See, civil, even for family court, civil procedure code will apply. Whereas for the quasi-judicial bodies, no CPC, no court rules and all. They have their own rules. So, but what if you are saying that is it a specialized court like family court? Yeah, it is, but it is not a court. Okay, it is a quasi-judicial body. Okay, so you're putting very nice explanation for what? For Dhyanesh English or for me? Did I give any explanation? I don't know. One questions beyond the scope. Can Parliament change the decision of court? No. What they can do, instead of, they cannot change the decision of court. What they can do, they can change the law with retrospective effect, which is what they did in Vodafone case. You remember? See, the Supreme Court passed an order by which they wanted to, they said no tax. Vodafone need not pay tax in India. They amended Section 9 of the Income Tax Act, by which they made it retrospective effect and reopening power up to 14 years. And thereby they taxed Vodafone. So this is how Parliament will try to bring about better. Suppose the court, according to Parliament, see the Parliament made the law. Later on when you come to interpretation, you will understand this better. Parliament made the law. The law is having a loophole. Lawyers are representing it. And the court also says, given this, we are going with the loophole and we will pass the order like this. But then it will cause manifest injustice to the government. So the government will again represent to the Parliament and they will form a new law. That new law will be made retrospective. Okay. Nowadays they have passed a rule saying you cannot make the law retrospective. It can be only prospective. It means it cannot be made applicable before the date of passing. It can be made applicable only from the date of passing. So good. And yeah, Abhishek Pandey, we are both on the same page, but let me give me a little more time to put my chop on it and say, this is it. OPC. Okay. According to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and this is 2020 data, it could be more now, not less. According to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, there were 34,235 OPCs out of a total number of about 1.3 million active companies in India as of 31st December 2020. There is almost 13 lakhs out of 1.3 million companies. About 3% of the out of 34,000 is about 3% of the companies are OPC. So there seems to be a thing. See, OPC is mainly meant for a person who wants separate legal entityship, but who doesn't want to have more shareholders. He wants to be the only shareholder. For that OPC, one-person companies were not there in India before 2013 Act, but they are very common abroad. You have such companies are there all over the world, in the European Union, US, England, of course, Singapore, Malaysia. You have one-person company concept. So this concept has now come to India. So definition we already know. One-person company means a company which has only one person as a member. The Memorandum of Association of an OPC shall indicate the name of the other person who shall, in the event of the subscriber's death or his incapacity to contract, become the member of the company. Which is why when we were speaking about reduction below the statutory minimum, I specifically excluded OPC. Because in other cases, when a member dies, nobody will replace him. That membership will be replaced until such time transmission happens and one of the legal heir or all of them jointly become the members. The membership is less than the statutory minimum for other than OPC, for public and private. But for OPC, the Memorandum of Association will very clearly mention the name of another person, another natural person, who shall, in the event of the subscriber's death or his incapacity, become the member automatically. In case this fellow dies or becomes mad, automatically the other person will become. The prior written consent of such person in form INC 3 shall also be filed with the registrar at the time of incorporation of the OPC, along with its MOA and AOA. Okay. Such other person may withdraw his consent by giving a notice in writing to such sole member and to the OPC, because the OPC is separate from the member. Member is individual, OPC is a company, artificial person. Both you have to give a notice in writing, okay, withdrawing the consent. Then the member of the OPC may at any time change the name of such other person by giving notice, okay, in the prescribed manner. So any such change in the memorandum of the person shall not be deemed to be an alteration of the memorandum. Why? Because the first guy, the first gentleman whom is named, his name is going to come in the MOA. That's all. After that, you can, whenever you want, you can change the name of that person by giving notice. Okay, but for that will not amount to an alteration of the memorandum. Very, very important. Please keep in your mind, member of a OPC should be a natural person. Natural. Similarly, the nominee, the person who will become member in case of member's death or incapacity, that nominee also should be a natural person who is an Indian citizen, whether resident in India or otherwise. Okay. So whether resident or in India or otherwise, he should be a natural person who is an Indian citizen, whether resident in India or otherwise. For the purpose of this rule, the term resident in India means a person who has stayed in India for a period of not less than 120 days during the immediately preceding financial year. Friends, definition of residents, I am not able to see the concept, because so long as that person is a natural person and he is an Indian citizen, whether he is resident in India or not, he can be a member and a nominee. So why they have given definition of residence, God only knows. Maybe. Okay. God only knows. Okay. Is there any capital or turnover limit in OPC like small companies? Mr. Abdul, what you should understand is, first of all, you should understand this very clearly. 4 crore and 40 crore is not a limit. It is the threshold. What I mean, if your paid up capital is less than 4 crores or less, or 40 crores less turnover for the immediately preceding, you will be a small company. If it is more, you will not be a small company. That is all. It is not a limit. It is not as if you cannot have more than 4 crore and all. So please understand, I'm trying to make it clear to you that that is not a limit at all. So there is no limit. There is no limit at all. Okay. If at all there is a limit in the number of members, in as much as a OBC can have only one member. Other than that, there is no limit. Just like a private company can have only 200 members. Right? Other than that, there is no limit at all. Okay? No limits. I humbly again submit to you, please try to open your mind and understand what I'm saying. 4 crore and 40 crore are not limits. They are only threshold. Like for example, tax audit ka hai na, threshold hai na, like 1 crore. It's not a limit, yeah. You can have for 50 crore turnover. Then tax audit will apply to you. Less than 1 crore, tax audit will not apply to you. That is all. It's like that. You got the point? Nominee can any person in OBC? Yeah, any person, natural person who is an Indian citizen. So you satisfy these two criteria. That's all. Indian citizen. Be very careful. See, you remember all these points. They keep on playing around with this. See, he should be a natural person. He should be a resident. He should be a citizen of India. A natural person shall not be a member of more than one OPC at any point of time. And the said person shall not be a nominee of more than one OPC. So if he is already one OPC member, he can't have another OPC. If he is already a nominee once, he cannot be. But he can be a nominee in one company and member in another company. Got it? So he can be a nominee in one company and he can be a member in one company. No problem. But only one. Where a natural person being member in OPC becomes member in another such company, by virtue of his being nominee in that OPC, such person shall meet eligibility criteria within a period of 180 days. Means what? A is a nominee in B OPC. He is also a member of A OPC. Now, B OPC ka member hai na B, he dies. Now what happens? A is member here. By virtue of being a nominee there, he becomes member there also. Now he is member in 2 now. So he is given 180 days to do something. Either close this or close that, or give that share to somebody else. And either way, he can be in only one company. Okay. No minor shall become member or nominee of the OPC or can hold share with beneficial interest. Minor not allowed. Okay. Member of OPC 1 can be nominee of OPC 2. That's what I said. But if a natural person is an Indian citizen and out of the country due to some work and not in India, then no, he can. That's what I said, whether he is a resident in India or otherwise. This is correct. Now, Manoj Kumar Thakur gives a nice comment. 120 days distinguished from income tax law, which has 182 days rule. Chalo, but see, they've used the word resident in India or otherwise. For example, you are having an example where a person is a citizen of India, but he's staying in the US for more than 180 days. Okay. Still, he can form an OPC, he can be a nominee in an OPC. 120, 180, how does it matter is what I'm saying. Okay. I didn't know that I've uploaded it. See what happened now? I uploaded the notes. Then I wanted to see if it is uploaded. I couldn't see it there. So, see, I'm more worried about Pooja Soni is asking like this. Sir, why you have uploaded notes chapter 3 times? Suppose I have not uploaded it, you will put, sir, why you have not uploaded it? Better upload it 3 times than not upload it now. What do you say, Pooja ji? Okay, suppose I have not uploaded it, then Pooja Soni will, why you have not uploaded it like that? So this is better than that now. 3 times, okay, you ignore the other 2, yeah. Take only once. What is that? Okay. Sometimes I laugh, not at you, not at myself also, but at the world. Okay, going on. Actually, even I was thinking that I have uploaded it more than once. I didn't know it is 3 times. Okay, sorry, ignore the other 2. Incorporation of company, I will upload it only once. Okay. Continuously we learn, madam. I keep on making mistakes and I keep on learning, madam. That is my life. 57-year-old man, Buddha is telling, continuously I make mistakes. I'm proud that I'm making mistakes. Never ashamed that I make mistakes. Only when I make mistake, I will learn. Sir, Voraji, you should drop that point there. Maybe we will talk about it later. Seriously, please don't. You write whatever you think is correct. Okay? And that will be the correct answer. Okay? See, if you think it has some important meaning there, please let it be there. But you should understand that a person can be member or nominee of OPC, whether resident in India or otherwise. So even a person who is not resident according to this definition can be a member or nominee in OPC. Okay. If a person has applied for another country's citizenship, yeah, he can form. The answer is in your own words. Has applied. Now the problem would be his application is heard and he becomes a citizen there. Then he will have that passport now. Then immediately in this OPC the nominee will become. Because seriously I don't know what will happen in that case. Suppose that fellow becomes a foreign citizen. Again, remember, one person, at the time of formation, he should be a citizen of India. Should he continue to be a citizen? I think so, because member should be a natural person who is an Indian citizen. So if he ceases to be an Indian citizen somewhere in the middle, then that OPC will not be valid. So he has to do something to change that. Is the point. Thank you for that. Laughing is the best medicine, correct? Thank you, Mr. Pooja, Miss Pooja. Thank you. Thank you. No, just since your question, Pooja, you put it 2 times. In the query pad, your question has been uploaded 2 times. That's why 2 times you asked it, I thought it was. Yeah, but be careful about the notes from the previous batch. Since I'm anyway uploading it fresh now, kindly download the fresh notes also as and when they are uploaded. These are all good questions. After the death of the member, the nominee is not ready. See, whether he is ready or not, he will automatically become the nominee by virtue. He cannot say. Then if he wants, he will become a member. Then he should nominate somebody or sell his shares to somebody like that and get out of this. Okay? The minute the member dies, by virtue of his being a nominee, he will become member. Okay? Your name is coming as, there is one more Vora there. Vedant Vora is there. Sorry, not you. One Vedant Vora is there. He was asking question. Not you. Okay, not you. You are Muhammad Abid Vora. That is Vedant Vora is there. For him only I am telling, not you. वो दूसरा Vora है. Vedant Vora है. Both nominee and member changes, then will the company get dissolved. See, if you violate, we will see there are some penalties for violation of OPC rules. That will apply. We will see that. But see, minor cannot be a member of a partnership. Am I correct? But he can be admitted to the benefits of the partnership. You remember that? In partnership you studied. Minor cannot be a partner because any contract entered into by a minor is void now. So minor cannot become a partner, but he can be admitted for the benefit of the partnership. Similarly, if other than OPC, minor can become a shareholder, but he will not become member. His guardian will be coming, and for his benefit, the guardian will be holding the shares. Even that is not possible for OPC. Minor cannot become member or hold shares with beneficial interest. Beneficial interest means who is entitled to the benefit. What are the benefits? Voting right, dividend, return of money on winding up. All that is called beneficial interest. Okay. Now, OPC cannot be incorporated as a Section 8 company or converted into a Section 8 company. OPC cannot be incorporated or converted into a company under Section 8. Section 8 we'll be seeing just after this. We are going to see Section 8. Just for your information, Section 8 company means not-for-profit company. So OPC cannot be not-for-profit company. Many times I get inquiry from US. People tell, sir, I want to do NPO. I want to do some service to Indian poor people in India. Can I form OPC? Sorry. For doing good, you cannot form OPC. If you want, you can form a normal Section 8 company, which will be a private or public company, but you cannot form a OPC. Though your OPC can be converted into a private or public company. Whenever you want, you can convert the OPC into private or public company. Okay. OPC cannot carry out non-banking financial or investment activities, including investment in securities of any body corporate. It's a very beautiful point. I missed it out that day. I'm very sorry. Now I will correct. So the question was whether OPC can be a holding company. So since OPC cannot make any investment in securities of any body corporate, it cannot be a holding company. It cannot be a subsidiary anyway, because only individual can be a shareholder, right? Company cannot be, na. So, and only one shareholder, that too individual, natural person. So, no, it cannot be a holding company also, thanks to this rule that it cannot make investment in securities of any body corporate. See, but my humble view is that this is a prohibition for carrying out non-banking financial or investment activities. Why investment? As an investment company, it cannot function. In my humble view, OPC should still be able to invest in a company. For example, I'm an OPC. I want to run a business. I'm running it in the OPC. I want to start another SP, strategic business unit. I can. Should be, but strictly interpreting this rule, you cannot invest in securities of any body corporate. Therefore, not possible. In those cases, if you so badly want to expand and you want to have a subsidiary, then better you convert yourself into a private or a public company. Proceed with that. The current member and nominee both raise the same time, then company will continue or not. See, if the current member and the nominee both die at the same time, then I would think the OPC will be wound up. The OPC should be wound up. That's all. It will have to be wound up. That all the assets will be sold and wound up. That's what I feel. Because the member is also dead, nominee is also dead. After that, who will come? So the company should be wound up. Okay. Okay. See, Rule 3.7 of the Companies Incorporation rules, earlier it read as follows. It was there in those days. No such company, that is OPC, can convert voluntarily into any kind of company unless 2 years is expired from the date of incorporation of OPC, except where the paid-up share capital is increased beyond 50 lakhs or its average turnover during the relevant period exceeds 2 crore rupees. This was some kind of, I think this is one confusion. That seems to be something. That this sub-rule has been removed. Okay. So Rule 6 and 7 has also been re-amended and we are now going to see 6 and 7. So earlier there was a bar on conversion. See, suppose I form an OPC. I want to convert it into a private or a public company. There was an earlier rule which said you can't do it for 2 years from the date of incorporation, except your paid-up share capital is increased beyond 50 lakh or average turnover in relevant period exceeds 2 crore. This unnecessarily draconian rule has been removed. So just to inform you. Okay, so in case you have an older version of material or book or whatever, just be careful. This has been removed, which means OPC can be converted into any kind of company even before the expiry of 2 years, irrespective of what is its paid-up share capital, etc. See, if a member of OPC becomes citizen of another country, but nominee remains Indian citizen, it's a violation. that's a violation of the rule, because you should be a natural person. Only the nominee will become a member only on the death of the member, natural OPC member. So death or insolvency. See, death or incapacity. Otherwise he won't. This is not incapacity, na. It's a violation. What he should do now, if he wants to become a citizen of some other country, he should first transfer the share in the OPC. No longer be a member. And see to it that on the date his citizenship changes, he has to. Again, why they are restricting it to citizens, I don't know. Maybe what they can do now, see, there are many Indian citizens who are also having what is known as OCA. They have something called Overseas Citizen of India card. I think those people can be taken as possible, but they cannot be. They're not, see, Overseas Citizen of India is not an Indian citizen. How to decide which country a person is a citizen? Na? Passport. If your passport is from Australia, you are an Australian citizen. If your passport is from the United States, you are a US citizen. If your passport is from Mera Bharat Mahan, you are an Indian citizen. Okay, you may be OCA, BCA, that is different. That is meant for some benefits for a PIO, person of Indian origin. But you cannot be citizen in two countries. This OCA is a concept given for the purpose of giving some sense of belongingness to Parvasi, Parvasi, na? Pardesi or whatever. Okay, those people. OPC cannot carry banking activities. Why? Because that is going beyond Companies Act. You form an OPC, go to the bank, you want to become a bank, you should get banking license, Baba. There are a lot of stringent controls of banking license. So it cannot, how can it? Don't need to. Whereas a private or public company can do non-banking financial activities. You understand? They are saying OPC cannot do that also. If you want to become a bank, then Companies Act is not the place. You have to go to the Reserve Bank of India and get a license. Okay? They won't give that license and all to OPC. Stepson's wife is not a relative. Stepson's wife is not a relative. Kyun? Is a relative only. Because stepson includes stepson. So once you say stepson is son, then son's wife. Extension, now see, you are saying son includes stepson. So stepson is a son, then son's wife is there. Stepson's wife is also there. This is my understanding of the case. Once you say stepson is a son, then son's wife. So stepson's wife is related. After the nominee becomes a member, then how much time he has to appoint new nominee? Nothing, no time. You continue or else it's your choice. Yeah, why should we give you time? You want to be there, be there. If you want to go, go. What is that? There is no need for any time. That is your choice. You want to go tomorrow. Go day after tomorrow. Anytime. Parvasi, Divas, something. So these Parvasi people, they are given this type of some sense of belongingness, calling OCA and all. But I will ask a very powerful question. And some of you will get angry because almost every Indian has some relative or the other in US or Australia or Canada. So we all have that NRI connections. So generally when these people come from US, my relatives and all, they will be more than us. They will go to all the temples and they will do all rituals. They'll be very, very ritualistic and all that. See, in India, they won't do anything. They go to US, they'll become very ritualistic. And suddenly they'll come here and give all this. And they will say, I am citizen of India also. I said, you can't be citizen of India also. You are either a citizen of US or you are a citizen of India. No. I'm a citizen of two countries. I got OCA, overseas citizen of India. Chalo, you got OCA card. I'm very happy about it. But only one question will break the whole issue, which is a very powerful question. If there is a war with that country, which side you will fight? If there is a war with that country where you now have a passport and you are saying you are also a citizen of India, which country you will fight for? That's all. This one question, contemplation is enough. They will simply keep quiet. Srikant, you are talking too much. That is my problem. I talk too much, 3 much, 4 much, what to do? Okay, no NRA. Yeah, what do you mean, yeah, sir, no NRA? Be elaborate in your comment, Aslam. I'm really getting a little worried about the way you are asking questions. Don't put cryptic comments like that. If you are wasting my time. Put a sentence, put a question there, or else keep it. Don't put anything. Is it not? Because seriously, because my mind is on conducting the class. So I can't keep understanding what you're telling and then replying. We are wasting time. That is why just like you are pushing me to change the topic and all, I am now telling you don't disturb me with your comments. If you want to say something, say it in full sentences. Or else, choke. Is it not possible to become that's why I'm asking now. If you're a citizen of 2 countries, now answer my question. Even assuming one country is willing to give you citizenship foolishly when you're a citizen of another country, okay, which is foolish. I will not give. If I have anything to say, I will not give double citizenship. Why should I? Suppose there is a war between the 2 countries, on which side you will fight? This one question, if you answer it correctly, then everything will fall in place. Dual citizenship is not valid. See, so long as you have countries. If you have Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, you say there is no country, nothing, we are all brothers and sisters, then yes, no need for citizenship at all. But if you are saying country is there, then there is a country, then only one country. This is my humble view, not necessary, I'm not telling this as a teacher, I'm telling this as an individual. May agree, may not agree, but my humble view, not this. Even if foolishly some country says I'm giving dual citizenship, they are putting themselves in trouble. That's all I can say. See, tomorrow there's a war between us and that country. This fellow will become suspect. He may be a spy. How do I know who you are? What are you? Are you that country or this country? See, that is why better you have one country, be there, work for that country. You gone to US, then the Declaration of Independence is there. You swore it. You swore that you will be a citizen of that country, right? Only when you swore it under the US flag, they gave you the citizenship. Respect that country at least. Okay, which has given you your support and your food. So to that country, you be honorable. Forget your mother country. What is that? Come and go, give some money. We are beggars here, you give us money. But citizenship, be there only. You can't come here. Then your first job, Dhyane, should be to get a relative who is NRA. Okay. There is a compulsion that there should be. The law says that there should be every company, every OPC should mention the nominee. Idea is, suppose there is a death of a member, then the nominee will take over. Okay. Now we come to another very important topic, which is see, Mr. Parsardi, you are telling it becomes alien country when war and support origin country. I don't know. Irish have the same problem. The Irish had the same problem. Okay, which country they will support? They had the same problem. It's not easy to answer. It's a very, very difficult question to answer. Hypothetically, we can give 100 answers. Reality, it is dangerous. 2 countries, you cannot have allegiance. Very difficult. Good. The Jews also have the same problem. All the diaspora have the problem. Yeah. Whenever there's a diaspora problem, they have that problem. They go abroad, they go for their livelihood abroad. They have this problem. It's unfortunate. I'm not in any way saying they are bad or what to do. They went because of their livelihood. But be attached to your native land. But citizenship, you are sworn citizenship to one country, be honorable to that country. Okay, this is my humble view. This is advice I'll give him to my son if he goes abroad. I'll tell him, now you are an American. Be honorable to the American national flag. Live an American, die an American. Don't be an Indian. Otherwise, why you go there? Why you take citizenship of that country? Come and be with me. Either this or that. Anyway, this is a very, very strong view held by an old person. So yeah, because 1986, 97, we had the opportunity to go to US. We decided to stay in our country. And okay, so these choices are very important. Having taken choices, you can now go back and say, I got 2 countries. Good. Conversion of OPC into private or public company, very important. Procedure for conversion of OPC into a private or public company other than a company registered under Section 8. Okay. So, I will answer your question, Samirji. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll finish this and I'll answer it. a girl is married to an American company and leaving India, but staying for more than 180 days, they can be nominee, yes. So long as she is not a citizen of India. I'm sorry, citizen, not she, so long as she continues to be a citizen of India. That the lady who is married to an American, I suppose it's an American, not an American company. How she'll marry an American company, I don't know. She is married to an American, fantastic. Wow, we appreciate her and congratulate her. But so long as she is an Indian citizen, she can be a nominee. She can be a nominee. She can even be a member. But the minute she applies for a citizenship, she can be a member. But the minute she becomes a citizen of that country, here she cannot be a nominee. There, it's a violation, that's all. Okay. So people, when you are applying for citizenship, you will jolly well know you will become a citizen within a certain time, right? So better you inform your local guy and say, I cannot be the nominee, boss. Have some other nominee. I may become citizen of US. So kindly change. That is how you should do it. Not wait for you to get citizenship and then what to do like that. Okay. So you properly advised, they will immediately change the nominee to an Indian person who is a citizen of India. The OPC shall alter its MOA and AOA because mainly in the memorandum and articles, there will be a clause. We will see that in the subscription clause, that 1% clause will be there and they'll remove it and make it normal and get one more shareholder, subscriber will come and make it into a 2 or 7 as the case may be by passing a resolution under 122, which we'll be seeing very shortly, and give effect to the conversion and to make necessary changes incidental thereto. So the minimum number of members and directors shall be increased and to 2 or 7 in the case of private, 2 in the case of private, 7 in the case of public members. 2 directors, private, 3 directors minimum for public. All that you have to increase it. If there is any minimum paid up capital requirement, it should be maintained. As of now, no minimum share capital requirement has been prescribed. As of now, no. Okay. On being satisfied that the requirements have been complied with, ROC shall approve the form and issue the certificate. The application should be in e-form INC 6. For conversion, you should attach the altered memorandum articles, copy of resolution, list of proposed members along with consent, list of creditors, and the latest audited balance sheet and P&L. Okay, that is all. So you are converting a shall we say OPC into a private or public company as the case may be. Remember, OPC comes under the category of private company. OPC is basically a private company, right? So it will be treated like a private company only. Right? So when you want to convert back, you cannot convert a public company into an OPC, but you can convert a private company into a OPC. So conversion of a private company other than a company registered under Section 8 of the Act into an OPC. So Section 8 company cannot be converted into OPC. Okay. So first of all, if you want to convert a private company into OPC, you have to pass a special resolution. Before passing such resolution, the company shall obtain no objection certificate in writing from members and creditors, because suddenly some members are going to go. Only one person is going to be there. After that, no more. So you have to get consent from the members that we are okay for it. Creditors also. And that special resolution should be filed with the ROC within 30 days from the date of passing in form number MGT 14. MGT 14, you will come across it in Management and Administration of Companies. It's basically whenever you pass a special resolution, within 30 days, the details of that resolution should be filed in form MGT 14. It is a very common form. It will be coming frequently. Whenever special resolution is passed, you have to file MGT 14. Again, you have to file the application in INC 6, declaration that all members and creditors are given consent, list of members and list of creditors, latest audited balance sheet and P&L account, copy of NOC letter from secured creditors. Again, when all the forms are in place, uploaded, on being satisfied, the ROC will issue the fresh certificate of incorporation. So this is conversion, right? Now, here is a small problem. Let us see. In the meantime, I will look. One-man show, an OPC was incorporated during the year 2021 with an authorized capital of 45 lakhs, 4.5 lakhs shares of Miscellaneous. Capital was fully subscribed and paid up. Turnover of the company during 2021 was 1.5 crores. This is actually there because earlier there was this restriction about 2 years and capital and all. So it was incorporated during the 2021. Promoter of the company seeks your advice whether one-man show OPC. See, usually that is how you indicate. One-man show OPC within brackets can convert it to a public company during 21-22. Next year. See, what you should understand is earlier there was a limit of 2 years. Now it is not there. See, earlier we would have tried to analyze it on the basis of capital and all that. Now nothing, no need, no botheration. They can convert anytime they want. Okay. Before we go to Section 8 company, let me quickly answer OPC questions. Question Samir Ji was asking, OPC can have unlimited liability? Yes, it can. OPC can have unlimited liability. No problem. But why would you do that? I mean, because that's one member. The whole point is limited liability. Na? So why would you want to do it? I mean, see, theoretically, you can ask n number of questions. I can give n plus 1 number of answers. Practically, why would I do that? I will want to think. If it is needed, do it. No problem. Sir, as you're not talking about citizenship law, then a question comes when is marriage done in India recognized marriage? Yeah, when do you 100% recognize, Baba? Yeah, Swami. No. Marriage, any country, within the framework of any law, if a person is married, their marriage is valid. Sorry, it's a good question. I have immediately answered your question. Marriages are valid. It's like in India, see, in any marriage, see, the problem is your marriage should be having some evidence. See, I'll tell you one thing. You can get your marriage registered under the Hindu Marriage Act, or you can get it registered under the Special Marriages Act. Okay? So, either way, if you want, you can get it registered. Otherwise, also, you can prove your marriage by photograph, invitation and all. But better get it registered. So, if you get it registered under the Hindu Marriage Act, then automatically the Purohit will sign and the registrar will, usually they'll come to the mandap itself and they'll take it, or else the groom and bride will go there and sign and they will, under the Hindu Marriage Act, they will be registered. Okay. Or else you can get it under the Special Marriage Act also, in case you are, sometimes when a different community or different religion, they will try to go for the Special Marriage Act. Okay. Whatever it is, have a proof. Any country, it's valid. Okay. Good question. Why 3 directors? I don't know. 3 directors is the minimum for a public company. Can MCQs come in exam in form number? Can come. Why not? They can ask you a question on this. They can give you and then INC 6, INC 5, INC 3 like that. They can. So better know the INC form, what it is meant for. They can ask. Why not? Ideally suited for MCQ. What if the company... See, this is the type of question that is ideally suited for MCQ. When you know the number or not. That's all. Simple. The correct question is not what is ROC, it is who is ROC. ROC is the registrar of companies. Please note the point. All of you who are listening, ROC, registrar of companies, also called registrar. Okay, he is the official of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Obviously, he is called registrar because he maintains the register of companies. Okay, the register of companies comes under his control. That is why he is called registrar. Yeah, converted. They can be converted. Okay. So that's correct. One-man show can be converted. No, you don't have to put private limited, public limited and all. Just put OPC. One-man show OPC. That means automatically it is a private limited company. Member in OPC can be partner in your firm. Why not be? I don't see any. Why should he not be a partner in a firm? He can be. He can be. Par value and face value are both the same. Why are you suddenly asking this question? Maybe more a finance question, but yeah, par value, nominal value, face value, almost synonymous. Face value and nominal value are same. Par value generally not used, but sort of synonymous with face value, par value. No, normally we don't use the word par value, but so if you think it is used somewhere by me, that is also not wrong. Can use. But preferably nominal value or face value is a better one. Conversation or conversion, you mean? Conversion. You mean the conversion topic is not in the book. Okay, if it is not in the book, don't read it. So ignore it. Maybe whatever I taught, you ignore it. Forget it. Don't remember it. That's all matter over. Why creditors' consent needed to convert OPC? Because especially when, see, from OPC to private company, not a big thing. Am I correct or not? But here what you are doing, the liability will not be restricted now. Earlier you had two fellows. Now there is only one guy is going to be there. Therefore, don't you think the creditors will have to consent to this now? So their consent has to be obtained. I think that is one of the pillars of the company law, protection of the creditor. So that before the OPC, they are converting to OPC, the creditor will be informed. Baba, they are going to convert to OPC. Are you okay about it? Oh, no. We don't want, we are not happy. Whatever. If they say, chalo, no problem. Whatever. Even if you become OPC, I'm confident with you. They'll give NOC and that is the end of the story. But their consent, they should give a notice and their consent should be obtained. So this is one example of protection of the creditors. No. See, India is a signatory. Harsh is asking questions. It's a general question. Basically, you're all beginning learners of law. So let me also take some general questions and give you my replies. But I'm not a lawyer, mind you. I'm a chartered accountant only, and maybe a company secretary, but not a lawyer. But then legal principles, okay. See, India is a signatory to many treaties, and one of the important treaties is we have all international laws, which are applicable all over the world. We are accepting. So we are signatory to the unilateral model laws. So once we sign that, we have to acknowledge member countries' laws. So any member country or affiliated country law, we will. Most countries are in that. Okay, so we do. But some countries which are not signatories to unilateral, we may not give respect to their laws. That is how it is. Now we move on to another very interesting and important topic, which is formation of companies with charitable object. Now, basically, charitable objects, if you want to do, okay, if you are having charitable mind and you want to do charitable work, best thing is for you to form a trust. Best thing is for you to form a trust under the Indian Trust Act, get it registered with the sub-registrar, and thereafter get yourself registered under the Income Tax Act. Section 11, 80G, start taking donation, serving society. That is one route. Another route, suppose you want to promote social activities or cultural activities or sports, then become a society. Under this, in this, every state, you have a state societies registration act. Register yourself as a society. Then there's a third method, which is especially when you register yourself as a society. See, the law relating to societies is a state-owned law. Only every state, for example, you can register a society in Maharashtra. You can register a society in, shall we say, Tamil Nadu or wherever. In any state. Not just give two examples out of head. Anyway, West Bengal, whatever you want. But your society's head office will be only in that state and your domicile will be that state. Okay, so you can set up branches all over the country, but still your domicile will be in that state. Whereas if you go for registration of a Section 8 company, you can have a pan-Indian operation. This is a problem that you might face when you're having pan-Indian membership. Then they will have to be member of the local body. They may be chapter, etc. But ultimately, they will have a membership with the Tamil Nadu body only or the Karnataka body only. It will not be an international level body. So, if you want a national level membership and you want to extend your operations all over the country for such social and cultural activities, it is better to go for Section 8. Otherwise also, Section 8 is one more method of doing charitable work. You form yourself as a company with limited liability, with or without shares, and you promote. Your object is to promote commerce, art, science, sports, education, social welfare, charity, religion, even religion, protection of environment, etc. No problem. So ultimately, your goal is not to earn a profit. Any money which is received or even profit generated is to be used in promotion of its objects only. And dividend should not be distributed. Profit should not be distributed by way of dividend. Okay. Some classic examples of Section 25 companies, often I can tell you, from Chennai I can tell you because that is my native place. I know many of you by now got it. I am a native of a city called Chennai in Tamil Nadu, a state called Tamil Nadu. Of course, I divide my time between the city where I am currently now sitting called Chennai, my office in Chennai, and I have another house in Coimbatore where I spend time. But otherwise, of course, I travel all over the country. So you might find me sometime suddenly visiting your city. I've been all the way up to Nagaland, right up to Mokokchung, the Burma border. I've been north. I've been right up to the last village. There are so many villages claiming to be the last village. So I've been to at least two of them on the border, China borders. And this side, Wagah, of course, Rajasthan, extreme end of Gujarat, west. So thanks to my work and my inclination, I travel a lot across the country and across the world. So that is why I generally stopped considering myself as belonging to any one place. So Chennai. Okay, in Chennai, we have a lot of Section 25 companies. For example, we have the club to which I belong, the Presidency Club. There's a club in Chennai called the Presidency Club. The Presidency Club is a Section 25 company. It was not Section 8 because in those days, this was called Section 25. So it was incorporated under the old law as a Section 25 company. Now it comes under the purview of Section 8. Similarly, there is the December is a season for Carnatic music in Chennai. And the most, shall we say, ultimate institution for promotion of Carnatic music is the Music Academy. The Music Academy is a Section 25 company. The Bombay Stock Exchange, okay, all Chennai example, we don't like SAR. You give me some other example. Bombay Stock Exchange, Section 25 company. Okay, like that you can, many chambers of commerce, Section 25 company. Okay, Madras Stock Exchange, Section 25, I think so. Madras Stock Exchange, Section 25 company. So, a lot of such cases are there. They are Section 25 companies. Okay. A Section 8 company may be limited by guarantee. It may also have share capital. But usually, we will have it limited by guarantee, but it can also have share capital. There is nothing prohibiting it from. It is not that it should be only limited by guarantee. It can be limited by guarantee having share capital, or it may be having only share capital also. No. All rules applicable if unlimited company converts as limited company by shares or guarantee as the case may be. Rules applicable if unlimited company converts as, once it converts, then liability will become, but conversion of unlimited to limited not possible. If you are an unlimited company or unlimited liability company. Okay. So basically, if you want to form a company with charitable objects, then you will apply to the central government to register the person or association of persons as a company with limited liability without the additions of the word limited or private limited to its name by issuing license on such condition as it deems fit. So basically, a Section 8 company is a licensed company. It is licensed to dispense with the words limited or private limited company, private limited as the case may be. Which is why all the names I told you did not have limited or private limited as. So you had Bombay Stock Exchange, you had Music Academy, you had the Presidency Club, like that. So I'm sure in your city also there are many such Section 8 companies, old Section 25 companies. Everyone, I'm sure there are a few, especially if you're in Kolkata or in Mumbai, you'll find that there are a lot of Section 8 companies around. Usually there'll be sabas or, social clubs or like that. Very well-known clubs would be Section 25 companies because it's easier to manage them as a company. That is why. So they form. But rarely you will find a pure educational or charitable trust being organization being formed as a Section 25 company. They would prefer to go under the trust. They would be registered as a trust. They would prefer a trust rather than this. So, Section 8 company may be either public or private. Depends. Okay. You, at the time of incorporation, you decide public or private. Then you make an application for license to dispense with the words limited or private limited, as the case may be. So it can be either. The idea is they are not-for-profit organizations incorporated under the Companies Act. So these companies do not want the words limited, private limited after the name. Therefore, they can dispense with it. So the name will be a normal association name. And so the license is given to dispense with it. So on registration, the company shall enjoy the same privileges and obligations of a limited company. So if people are shareholders, they will have limited liability, which means suppose 10 people want to come together to form a society for appreciation of literature. So they will form a Section 25 company. So National Literature Society, NLS. Now that society will be there. So they will come in, and what they will do, they can even invest by shares, or they can guarantee, whatever. Either way, their liability will be limited. So that limited liability the member will enjoy. Therefore, you go through Section 8. But you also don't have to use the word limited or private limited. You'll be dispensed. One exception. Normally, a firm cannot be a member of a company. I already told you, firm not being a person, okay, body corporate. I'm sorry, a person having separate legal entity. Firm cannot be a member. Therefore, only for Income Tax Act purpose, for taxing, we keep the firm as a person. Otherwise, legally, a firm is not a person. There's no separate legal entityship independent of its partners. So normally, a firm cannot be registered as a member of a company. No, normally, normal. Exception is Section 8 company. A firm may be a member of a company registered under Section 8. Okay. See, because in those days, chambers of commerce and stock exchanges were Section 8, Section 25 companies. Now, obviously, chambers of commerce, in those days, not many companies. There were many firms also. So the firm will want to become a member of the chamber. Therefore, they said, when the chamber becomes a Section 25 company, a firm can continue to be a member because he already is a member now. So firm can be a member there, or you can be fresh member also. This is an exception. Okay. For example, I was a council member, and I'm a part of a chamber of commerce called the Hindustan Chamber of Commerce, Chennai mein. That is also a Section 8, Section 25 company. Now, see, why I say Section 25, Section 25? Because most of these Purana Wala fellows have been incorporated under Section 25, not 8. 8 came later recently now. 25 has been there for a long time. So they are all 25. But now, with the new law, they will come under the purview of Section 8. Conversion to any other kind of company. A company registered under this section may convert itself to a company of any other kind only after complying with the prescribed conditions. That is, first of all, they should get consent from all the members and go through the whole formality of satisfying the MCA. Only then they will be allowed to convert. So a company registered under Section 8, which intends to convert itself into a company, shall pass a special resolution at a general meeting for approving such conversion. Okay. Privileges means benefits. Privileges mean benefits. So enjoy the benefits and also the obligations. What are the privileges or benefits? Liability is limited. The liability of the member is limited. That is the privilege. So here the word privilege is used as benefit. Benefits. That way, Canara Bank is also not having. Indian Bank is also not having. Have you thought about that? Why only State Bank of India? ICICI Bank is not having. Banks need not have. They are exempted under the Banking Regulation Act. Okay? Because earlier they were all not incorporated. Some of them were chartered. If you go through the State Bank of India history, you will know. State Bank of India is older than your Companies Act. Okay, when the State Bank of India was there, it was called the Imperial Bank. pre-independence. Okay. Post-independence, by an act of parliament, State Bank of India Act, the Imperial Bank was converted into State Bank of India. Okay. So it has nothing to do with your Companies Act. Later on, for the purpose of listing its shares, State Bank of India, again like LIC and all, it became a company under the Companies Act. Okay. Only for the purpose of listing itself. All banks need not have the word limited after that. They can dispense with the words. Okay. All banks, not only State Bank of India. And that is not under section. They are not section 25. They are normal companies, or they were earlier than that. Now, coming under the company's purview of the Companies Act by a special act of parliament, they would be coming here. Okay. So don't confuse bank with section 8. That is not section 8 company. Good question, but not. Yeah, mostly social association. See, if you see a social association, you have to ask them, are you a trust? Are you a society, registered society? Are you a section 8 or section 25 company? Depending, whatever it is. They may be section 8. We don't know. Okay. Firm with the same purpose only? Yeah, generally, no such rule. A firm may be a member of the company, that's all. Usually there will be, say, Bombay Stock Exchange, you will be the member. Yeah, brokers only will be member. Na? So the firm will be a broking firm, become member. Because the Bombay Stock Exchange will have its own rules, right? On who can be a member. See, Chamber of Commerce, who can be a member? Anybody carrying entrepreneurial activity may come. Private limited company will come. Individual will come. Firm will also come. They become member. SBI incorporated in 1806, correct. Not 1806 under which law? Under the British law. Okay. That's called Imperial Bank. I'm not aware about FICCI as such, but I have a feeling they are. Could be. Maybe if you got the information, I'm happy. CII, you mean. Confederation of Indian Industry, Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Association of Chamber of Commerce. Yeah. See, this is the ideal profile for Section 8. Pan-Indian operations, they want to be seen as a thing like that. They will become a Section 8 company. Okay. Suppose the company does something which is contravening. For example, they are supposed to use their profits for promoting their activities. Instead, they are misusing the funds, etc., or whatever. Then the central government may by order revoke the license of the company where the company contravenes any of the requirements or the conditions of these sections, subject to which a license is issued, or where the affairs of the company are conducted fraudulently or in violation of the objects of the company or prejudicial to public interest. On revocation, see, he is only revoking the license. Nothing is happening to the company. Okay, any action will be taken for fraudulent conduct, but company is not dissolved. At this stage, it loses the privileges of a Section 8 company. So they will again put the word limited or private limited against the name. And of course, he will give a written notice of its intention to revoke and an opportunity to be heard. This opportunity to be heard is compulsory. Even if the central government is doing something, it is an instrumentality of the state. Therefore, the other party should be given a reasonable opportunity to make his representation in writing. And an order should be passed only after taking into account the representation and dealing with it. You can't simply ignore and pass. That is, if the government does it, straight away writ. Because it's a violation of your fundamental rights. See, I am telling something, you are not even listening to me. Yeah? You are an IAS officer, so what? You listen to me. You say I am wrong, so prove how I am wrong. Give it in writing. And then say I am doing this, do it. See, I am simply ignoring it. I am so and so, therefore I will do. Then there is a misuse of your power as an executive. Then that is why courts are there to issue writs and direct them to do what they have to do. That way, law is a very exciting subject. If you stop, getting into the details and getting mired with the details and look at it broadly as a subject, it is a very beautiful subject. It's only when you get into the small details and get confused, then only the law becomes boring. Otherwise, generally, if you understand it, it's a beautiful subject. Just float. Okay? How about this, sir? How about that, sir? See, you have 108 questions. I have 115 answers. But after answering all the 115 questions, you will have another 115 questions only, right? So better you start thinking in terms of answers. Okay. In fact, many of my students, after attending my lectures, they start slowly thinking in terms of answers. Instead of asking questions, they will start giving. For example, Abhishek Pandesi, now he himself is coming with an answer. And he's saying, I think indirect is also included. Like, that is all we should become. Because this is not clearing the exam, becoming a member of my institute. We are training you to become members of our institute, not simply clearing the exam. It's not some UGC exam. This is a qualifying exam for becoming a member of my institute. So independent thinking is very important. And that is being tested more than anything else in the exam. Believe me, your ability to think and apply knowledge coherently in reasonably good English, as the case may be. Non-banking financial activity is of two types. Non-banking financial activity. One is borrowing, taking deposits and lending money. Another is making investment in companies. There are two types of activities, non-banking financial. So one of that is accepting deposits and lending money. That is one type of NBFC activity. Another is investment. So they are alag-alag. So there is nothing called non-banking financial investment. I think you are confused with the wordings used here, right? This is confusing. Such company cannot carry out non-banking financial I think maybe there should be a conjunction or a disjunction there. Maybe I have to correct it. But basically, they are alag-alag. Non-banking financial activities, non-banking finance activities, and investment activities. Both cannot be done. Okay? I hope this is clearer now. So there are two separate activities. Which is why I still honestly feel, and I am subject to correction, I'm not aware of it, but they can invest as a matter of ownership. It is only when they do it as an investment activity, it is violated. But since the word investment is used there, strictly investment in shares of other bodies corporate, if you're going to strictly interpret it, then OPC cannot invest in any other body corporate, in the shares of any other body corporate. Good show. Thank you for that confirmation, Mr. Muhammad Aslam. Law is very good, interesting. In fact, my guru, Professor K.S. Anantaraman, has written a book on company law, lectures on company law. I don't think it has been revised now for the new law. Earlier, that fantastic book. It was so simple and easy to understand. And then I wrote a book for final exam CA, which was very popular from 2002, I think, onwards. For about 10 years, it was very popular. 2002 to 2012, Snow White had published it, and it was published by Snow White, and local Chennai-based institution had published it, and it was working. But after 2012, I stopped. The new law came now, I stopped revising that book. After that, I went out of teaching itself for 3 to 4 years. Then again, I came back recently in pandemic. When the institute called me for these classes, I came back. So in between, from 2012 to almost 2019-20, I was out of teaching. Means I was not teaching CA students at all. So I was having I was busy with corporate training and consulting, and my practice, of course, was there. So I couldn't concentrate. Teaching couldn't. But I was teaching in AC's institute. I was teaching for B schools and all, but not for CA. Okay, where a license is revoked, the central government may by order, if it is satisfied that it is essential in the public interest, direct that the company be wound up under this act or amalgamated with another company registered under this section. So, if it is satisfied that it is essential, normally no. Normally they'll simply make it limited or private and say, go. You are doing all sorts of nonsense. You are no longer eligible to be called a Section 8 company. So put back the word limited, private limited. All the rules and regulations applicable to normal limited or private limited company will apply to you. This is easy. But suppose they have done all fraudulent activities and useless activities, then they will be wound up. Or they will say, whatever assets are there, etc., you amalgamate with another company registered. Okay. But in this case also, the company should be given a reasonable opportunity of being heard. Okay. When the license is cancelled, then a lot of details will change, like exemptions. Yeah, exactly. Then it's the prices of the products that Section 8 company is selling to generate the revenue increases. That I don't know, sir. These are all two practical questions, sir. How do I know? They may increase, they may not increase. I seriously don't know. One level below board means below, for example, board of directors are there. Below that, you will have CFO, CFO, CEO. These are all one level below board. They are not directors, one level below. So all the CXO is CTO, Chief Technology Officer, like that. So all that, those are coming under that one level below the. Depends. Sometimes they are called Chief CXO. Sometimes they'll be called VP, Vice Presidents. Whatever they are called, they come one below the. Those people are not automatically KMP. Baba, please. Only if they are designated as KMP by a board resolution, they'll become KMP. Okay. Amalgamation, both the companies need to have same. Exactly. That is when they'll do it. CE, sports, etc. Correct. Only then they will do it. Same object. 100% same object, etc. Same object. Only then they can. In fact, see, if you want to get yourself exempted under, see, these Section 8 companies will also apply for exemption under the Income Tax Act. Obviously, now because they don't pay tax on their income. Charitable work income, why should I pay tax? So Section 8 company can also make an application under Section 11. Okay, and they will be given an exemption under Section 11. 12AA certificate will be issued, and they can also get ATG exemption depending. Suppose the Chamber of Commerce, they won't get ATG, or what is that, World Boys Club, they won't get ATG. But purely charitable, they might get some ATG also, depends. Point I'm trying to make is, even for that exemption, your articles should very clearly mention that in the event of winding up of this company, the assets will be transferred to another similar organization with similar objects, or amalgamated with similar objects. Only then you will get your exemption under Income Tax Act also. I don't know what you mean by all powers government delegated to ROC. No, actually many of the powers, especially this power to license, this power has been given to another gentleman called the Regional Director, not the ROC. The Regional Director is the ROC's boss. See, there are 4 Regional Directors sitting in each region. Each of these RDs, below them you have AROCs, ADs and all, and ROCs. So the ROC is coming below the RD. So each state will have 1 or 2 ROCs. All the states together, 5 states or 4 states, will come under one RD. Many of the powers of central government have been delegated to the RD. Okay. For example, Section 8 power has been delegated to the Regional Director. So you have to make the application for license to the Regional Director. Okay. Of course, the ROC will incorporate the company. Then he will send the paper to the RD. Then the RD will go through the application for license and he will issue the license. Again, it will come back to the ROC. Then the ROC will issue the certificate of incorporation and give it. Delegated means the central government is the ministry, right? The Minister of Corporate Affairs. Right from Minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, to the ROC, AROC, Assistant Minister of Money, everybody is the central government only. When we use the word central government, we are talking about everybody. So when the government notification very clearly say, under this section, there is a power available to the central government. That power will be exercised by who? In many cases, they have given notification saying it is delegated. Delegated means the power is there with central government. Portion of that power is now given to the RD, Regional Director. So when he does it, it is as if central government has done it. So within his power, he can do that much. Like, for example, delegation. Come on. Suppose you become CFO. Then below you, we'll have assistant CFO or assistant finance, GM finance. So you will give that GM finance some power of approval, right? Up to 5 lakhs expenses, you approve it. That is a delegation of power. Like that, power has been delegated to Regional Director. If Section 8 company at the time of registration is private, but the time of revocation, they want to be public, can they do so? Go ahead, do it. Why not? You can tell the information, give the information. Okay. Sir, each state will have one ROC. Again, you check out Google now. Exact number I don't know. Because I think the northeastern states together they share one ROC. They have one ROC. And the eastern region will have one RD. Eastern region is huge. Right? That one eastern region will have one RD. Southern region, one RD. And like that. To my knowledge, only one RD per region. Okay. Below them, they'll have assistant directors, etc. The regional directors, deputy directors, additional directors, they'll have. Who will be again delegated powers? All this will be available in the form of notifications. Correct. Transfer of authority to no lower level. So each state will have one ROC or two, or some few small states will have together one ROC. But group of states, or we put it this way, group of ROCs will come under one RD. Got it? RD is above ROC. Some exemptions are available. See, you already got it now. A company registered under this section shall amalgamate only with another company registered under this section and having similar objects. Okay. So, these are purely theoretical provisions. Let us not waste our time. Okay. It's not as if you will be tested so in depth. See, in fact, I am going to tell you something which you will not like, but as students of the current approach of your mind is like this now. So many of you are of the view that if I read every page of the institute material and I know it thoroughly, I will not fail in the institute exam like that. Now, your logic is correct, but you need not do so much. You should know which is important, which is not important. So that is why if you allow your faculty like me to teach the way I want to teach now, I can quickly run you through the important topics. Whereas if you keep on asking queries on non-important topics now, I will answer it, but you will have no benefit from the exam point of view. In those days when I had classroom teaching now for my CA final students, I will conduct rapid revision classes 15 days. 15 days I will cover entire syllabus, complete, pakka, but not everything. Not if somebody is keeping the institute material and asking me this is not covered, that is not covered, I will give his money back and send him out. But at the end of the 15 days, they'll be thorough from the exam point of view. And they will go there and they will clear the exam and come out. I'm not telling this to boast. I'm telling somewhere use your common sense. What is important, what is not important. If you read the entire material, you will get confused. Don't have to do it. Important topics you read. Even in that topic, important point. What is the crux of it? Revocation of license. Once they revoke, what happens? It will be private limited, public limited will be done. Then sometimes they might say it will wind up or else amalgamate with another company. That company should have the similar objects. That's all. Okay. There are some exemptions available for Section 8 companies. Normally, 21 days notice have to be given for calling general meeting. You will see this later on when we come to management and administration. There again, we will tell you, don't worry. So, normally 21 days, but for Section 8 company, 14 days. The minimum number of directors, independent directors, etc. does not apply to Section 8 company. Similarly, it need not constitute nomination and remuneration committee, shareholders relationship committee, etc. There's a lot of exemptions are there for Section 8 company. Okay. If a company makes any default in complying with any of the requirements laid on Section 8, the company shall, without prejudice to any other section, without prejudice. Later on, when you come to interpretation, we will teach you. But right now, for my sake, immediately I'll teach. Without prejudice means in addition to. Make a note somewhere if you want. Without prejudice means in addition to. So, in addition to any other section, they will also be punishable with fine, which shall not be less than 10 lakh rupees, but which may extend to 1 crore rupees. And the director and every officer of the company who is in default shall be punishable with fine, which shall not be less than 25,000 up to 25 lakhs. Okay. This is, see, if there is a default in complying with requirements, that company can be wound up, license can be revoked, company can be wound up, it can be amalgamated. In addition to that, they are also liable for fine. You are able to understand? So without prejudice means in addition to. Earlier there was a punishment by way of imprisonment that has been now removed. Okay. Request you that don't take time is limited. So all questions asked by Dhyanesh Ingle are relevant, sir. Other questions are irrelevant. Okay. I will decide what is relevant and irrelevant. Leave it to me. This is what I don't like with intermediate students. You don't give me instructions. Allow me to do it the way I do it. If it is irrelevant, I will say it is irrelevant and still answer it. No problem. You are a good boy, Dhyanesh. Don't worry. Your topic will be covered. Don't worry. Agreed. For CA exam, ICA materials, yeah, read only the institute material. No need to read anything else. No need. 100%, except practice manual and RTP. Read the practice manual and RTP and institute material. 100%, more than enough. Don't have to read any other book. In fact, I have done a research of all the books available in the market for CA exam. I find no book, even Taxman book is useless. It's not you can as well read the institute material for that. See, the Taxman book may be slightly better presented, but even there I found a lot of mistakes are there. And suggestion, read only the institute material and be thorough with that. I totally agree with you. Fines and penalty provisions to be memorized. Typical question you are asking. What do I say? Try to remember. Okay. Sometimes they might ask you, prepare a chart. Try to remember. If you can remember, it will be good. Yeah. Try to remember. No, audit committee is to be done. Only nomination, remuneration committee and shareholders resolution committee. But again, audit committee will come only in final syllabus. There you will see it. Audit committee. Only listed companies should have audit committee, and then they have certain capital requirement, turnover, and all. Only if you satisfy that, audit committee is to be formed. If a Section 8 company is satisfying that, they should have an audit committee. Because see, there are a lot of huge Section 8 companies. So, because it is a Section 8 company, doesn't mean that it should not have internal control mechanism or audit committee review and all. Only see, since anyway MD is not going to be paid any, profit and all. So, nomination and remuneration committee and shareholders relationship committee is not there. But audit committee, if it is required to have an audit committee, it should have an audit committee. Okay. So, we have finished Section 8. Moving on to Section 9, what I will do, since we have had a long session and we are going to go up to 9 today, I would love to complete a certain level of syllabus. So I'm going to give a 5-minute break. 5-minute break when we will break and then we will take up again. Okay. You put your questions there as and when. Finally, I may take the question up and answer. Ashok ji, small break. Welcome back from I know a very short break, but just to go for your biology break and grab a cup of chai and come back to the screen. Welcome back. And there's a question. In any questions, will they quote section number and ask, what does that section say? No. Not like that. Never they will ask like that. See, they will ask you practical questions, application of law, right? They will give you a situation and they will ask you to write what is the procedure like that. They will not give you a section number and ask what is that section number and all. No, never. I've never seen one question like this. But they will give you a situation, or they will give you an example, or they'll give you a problem and they will ask you to give a solution, or they will ask you to write the procedure or whatever. While doing that, you can write section number if you want. If you want, you can write section number. If you think, if you want to write section number, you can. Okay? You can write section number. If you write section number, see, typical question is, should I write section numbers in the exam? Answer. If you write the content correctly, by and large, you'll get 60 to 70% of the marks. If your handwriting is good, 70-75% of the marks, you will get it. If you're written in good English, reasonably, correctly, logically, if you're written, the examiner understands what you've written, then you will get. So, it depends. Suppose your English is not good and you're ungrammatical, it is not clear, then, even then, if broadly you've given the answer correctly, you get 40, 50%, 60%, 75% you will get. But if you write that section number also and everything, then you will get up to 80 to 90% of the marks for that question. So, writing section number will take you 1% more. So if the number of marks is 6, you will get, if you write correctly, you get 4, 4.5. From that 4.5 to 5, 5.5 journey is what? Section number. So are you going to take extra effort to remember section numbers for that? No need. But if it is easy, try to remember, it will come. Some people, memory is good. They are getting that advantage. If you are not able to remember, don't bother. Just float with it, aram se. Don't try to mug up. Read it casually. Suddenly you'll start remembering section numbers also. It comes naturally. Okay? Don't mug up, is what I would say. Look for some logics. Try to remember mnemonics and all. I can't give you. It's up to you. You create your own mnemonics and you. God only knows, Ms. Subrata. Till 9 o'clock, I will take whatever section. That's all. I have a target, but let us see whether I can do it. Okay. If I don't want to commit anything now, I will try my best. You be prepared to sit till 9 o'clock. That is all I'm asking you. Okay. If criteria is met, any good question. Section 8 company, no need for having CSR. Because Section 8 company itself is a CSR. Now, they can, Section 8 company, no need to do CSR. No need to do CSR. Okay. So, it's my view. No need to do CSR. Okay. So, now we move on to Section 9. Because actually, Section 8 company itself doing CSR only. What against CSR? No need to do CSR. From the date of incorporation mentioned in the certificate of incorporation, from the date of incorporation mentioned in the certificate of incorporation, that the date mentioned in the certificate of incorporation is very, very important. The subscribers to the memorandum and all other persons as may from time to time become members of the company shall be a body corporate by the name contained in the memorandum, capable of exercising all the functions of an incorporated company, with right to acquire, hold and dispose property, contract and to sue and be sued by the said name. So, from the date of incorporation mentioned in the certificate of incorporation, the company comes into existence as a separate legal entity. The company comes into existence from the date mentioned in the certificate of incorporation. Even if it is wrongly mentioned, the legal fiction of the company comes into existence from that date. For example, company was actually registered on one date, but it was wrongly mentioned earlier date. It comes into existence on that earlier date. Got it? Jubilee Cotton Mills versus Lewis. This was addition. Now we move on to the important topic. Thank you very much, Mr. Vashishta, for being prepared to sit up to 9:30. No, but I cannot take. I am having human limitation. No? But 9 we will go. Because that day I had 1 hour early, so I'll go till 9. Memorandum means the Memorandum of Association of a company, 2 subsection 56. I'm now, see, many definitions I'll give in its context. So now I'm telling you. Memorandum means the Memorandum of Association of a company as originally framed or as altered from time to time in pursuance of any previous company law or of this act. So whether incorporated of 56 law or 13 law, original memorandum as altered from time to time is memorandum. It is called the charter of the company because it brings the company into existence. See, the Indian Constitution, the Constitution of India is the charter. It is a charter. It brings India into as a democracy. See, there's a declaration now that India is a sovereign democratic republic, that India. So that is a charter. Similarly, for a company, the memorandum is the charter. It is the base document for the formation of the company. And along with the articles of association, it is regarded as the constitution of the company. Just like the Indian Constitution is the base for all the laws in the country, the memorandum and articles are the base for all the actions done by a company. Okay? What is the Charter of the United States of America? You should read that document. Very powerful document. Go online, not now, not during my class. Go online when you are free and Google for the Declaration of Independence. It's a very short document. It's not very lengthy. The Declaration of Independence. Okay, it's a beautiful document. Just read it. So you will cry. When you read, you will cry. Okay, the people who formed the United States of America were great intellectuals. Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, okay, Thomas Jeffries. They were all great intellectuals. And they believed in liberty, equality, and freedom. And they wrote it. Just read it, and you will really know what is what. Okay, so that's why many times when I say don't go to America to become American, have an attitude of the American in India and live that way. That's what I would say. Let us, instead of going to America, let us make India into America. Let us make our country one of the best countries to live in so that nobody will want to go anywhere else and they will only want to live here, work here and enjoy here. Why go out? Let us make our country into one of the best countries in the world. So other people want to come and work here. They will beg us. Let us make our country like that. Okay. Need for registering Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association. Basically, it contains the object for which the company is formed and it gives the scope. Since most of you are well aware of the doctrines and all, I'm going to quickly rush through it because you're all already in foundation, you have studied it, so your authority on that. Quickly, I'll rush through it. But basically, the memorandum gives the scope of the operations because it has an important clause called objects clause. The object clause defines the scope of the company, what the company can do and what the company cannot do. Outside of it, the company cannot do. So anybody who wants to deal, shareholders, creditors, and future members, all will know what are its powers and what activities it can engage in. Okay, and how the money which is invested by them or lent by them would be utilized. So suppose I'm going to invest in a company. By reading the memorandum, I will know what are the purpose for which my money will be used. If I'm a bank, I will know for what it will be used. Okay. The memorandum is a public document under section 399. Public document means anytime anybody can go and download it and they can view it and take copy. So, since it is a public document, every person entering into a contract or proposing to enter into a contract with the company is presumed or deemed to have knowledge of the conditions contained therein. So, deemed. Please understand, even if he has not read the memorandum, it is deemed, presumed that he has read it. He cannot claim, I didn't read it. Therefore, I didn't read it. Therefore, he will have to, he can't say, I didn't know about it. Because it's a public document. You can go and have a look. You should not have, if you don't, you did not our problem. This is called the doctrine of constructive notice. Okay. So Kanchan Kumari is a direct entry. Or you BCom or BE. If you are BCom, then you would have studied this in second year. BCom. Anyway, don't worry. I will teach you. Whatever necessary will be taught. But usually, doctrines will be taught in the second year of the Bachelor of Commerce under the company law or corporate laws. Usually, UGC syllabus, BCom syllabus, you will find it will come in the second year, company law. It will come under company law. Some Varshney or books are there, all useless. Some books, some UG, some universities, they are giving still 1956 syllabus. Not even 2013. They are blissfully ignorant. Some universities are blissfully ignorant that the act has been amended and new law has come. They're still teaching the old law. I'm sorry to say this. Okay, I'm sorry. There are still. They will say 2013 law, but the books will still be old law. Like that and all they're there. So, anyway, that's not the point. The point is, any person who wants to enter into a contract can always go and look at the documents which are filed. They are all public documents. If it is a public document, then there is a deemed knowledge. So that is called doctrine of constructive notice. The person cannot say, I did not see it, because it is your duty to see it. It is presumed, deemed that you have seen it. Deemed knowledge. Notice means knowledge. Constructive means deemed. Constructive notice means deemed knowledge. Presumed knowledge. Even if it is not there, it is presumed to be there. You cannot claim, I'm ignorant. Okay, this is very important point because the doctrine of constructive notice is very important. Based on this doctrine only, we are going to build the ultra vires and Turkan's rule, indoor management. So you should be clear. So Mr. A wants to lend money to the company. First of all, he should have read the memorandum and articles. Failing to do that is nobody's problem. Doctrine of constructive notice is all right. Okay. If the company changes its memorandum of association a day before, is the statement of deemed to not applicable? Good point. Suppose the company has amended its memorandum and it has 1 month to upload. So during that 1 month, if you have entered into any contract, it's a slight exception because you could not have known it. The company would not have uploaded. Even then, my humble suggestion, see, intelligent people will do this. Since I would like to be an intelligent person, what I will do now, suppose I'm going to enter into a contract with the company. I will request the company to give me a copy of its latest memorandum as amended. Everyone understand? And I will tell them, please confirm that this is your memorandum and there is no change. If they don't do that, then sorry, Baba, no. If they do it, then they are caught because if there is any change, that will not apply to me. Because what you told me, that is what I saw. So, like that, you see, this is how legal knowledge should be applied. Instead of trying to find out exceptions, try to find out how to satisfy the law. Okay. So, if such a company is there, they can say, sir, we have amended our memorandum. Okay, then give me the latest memorandum. Especially tomorrow, if you are going to join ICICI Bank or UTI Bank or Axis Bank, and you are going to be lending money to a company, you have to ask them because strictly speaking, even if it is day before yesterday, the general rule is it is a public document. Now you ask for it. If you want to deal with the company, ask for the latest copy, get it. If the company refuses to give, don't deal with that company. Here's the point. So you can always see the company wants you to lend money now. Let them give the latest memorandum. Ask them to get it certified by a company secretary and bring it. So let them get it certified by a company. Hire a company secretary. Ask them to do a secretarial audit. Go into the company's affairs and do it. Well, you are the lender, yeah. You have to do it. See, others don't deal with that company. It's all. You caveat emptor, no? You have to be careful. Okay. You have to protect yourself. Okay. The constructive notice is applicable. Even if it is amended, yeah, strictly. But you can't give that as an excuse in a court of law. Okay. They will say you ask him for it. Why didn't you ask him for it? If you're not asking for it, and whose fault is that? That is your fault like that. Moving on. Now we are going to go through the various clauses of the memorandum. How many times company do changes in memorandum? How do I know? That is up to you. Daily also you let them do. Whenever they want, they will change it. There is no limit on the number of times and all. They can do it every day also. No problem. I don't know. Usually see, they will change it to change the object class. Like that. Change the name sometimes. Usually they'll do it. Okay. Name clause. So now we are going to see the clauses. There are 6 clauses in the memorandum. Each clause is important. You should know what is that clause, what is the nature of the clause, and how that clause can be altered. Procedure for alteration of the clause. This is how you should remember this topic. So for next 1 hour, I want to cover clauses of the memorandum and how to change it. So the name clause is the name of the company. Limited or private limited will be there. In the case of OPC, the name will be private. The name should have OPC private limited as suffix. So we already saw what is that? One-man show OPC private limited. Okay. So OPC will have private limited as suffix. But the bracket, it should have OPC. One-man show OPC private limited. Okay. So it should be. This answers your question now. Now somebody was asking how OPC will have what. Now the question is answered. OPC private limited as suffix. Okay. Domicile or situation clause. Please note, this clause will not give the address of the company. Address will be stated in the form. In that form, you will give the postal address. Here, you will only give the state in which the registered office of the company is to be situated. Okay. The state in which the registered office of the company is called domicile. You cannot have more than one domicile. Why? Because India, we have what is known as divided legislation. The constitution gives separate powers to the central government and to the state government. So certain powers are applicable to state government. Now, so under which state government will you come? So it's very important. Therefore, there should be one state in which you have domicile, registered office. You can have corporate office, you can have branch office in any number of states. But registered office will be only one. And that registered office is very, very important because all legal notices, all legal correspondence, all public, what shall I say, court notice, etc., should be sent only to the registered office to be valid. So therefore, that's why this is very important. The registered office is very important. Got it? You can have corporate office, you can have branch office, but for legal service of notice, the registered office is very important. Then the third, very important, possibly the heart of the memorandum, the objects for which the company is proposed to be incorporated. These are known as main objects and the matters which are necessary for the furtherance of the main object. So earlier you had 3 main objects, ancillary or incidental objects, other objects. Today, no. You got main objects, 3, 5 maximum, not more than that. And then you have matters which are necessary for furtherance. For example, borrowing money, buying immovable property, lending money, etc., etc., etc. These are matters which are necessary for the furtherance of the main objects. That's all. Earlier you had, other objects, wherein what they will do, they will put 128 other objects. Whenever they want, they will activate one of the other objects. No, it is not possible. Your main object should be clear and tight. 3 to 5 maximum, 3 clauses, 5 clauses, not more than that. And the rest of it should be incidental. Okay. So if you're basically into manufacture of steel, related you can have 3 items. You cannot have manufacture of steel, running cinema theater in the same. Or in the other objects, you cannot have running cinema theater, nothing. Only steel. Related to steel, you can have 1 or 2. Okay, but not more than that. Correct. Very good point, Mr. Abdul. In the CA Institute, you are deemed to be aware of the material, institute material. Correct. What is English headquarters? Madam, headquarters is Dhyanesh. You only told not to answer irrelevant question. You only told not to answer irrelevant question. Remember? Now tell me, is this relevant or irrelevant? Then only I will answer. Because you only told. I remember earlier, I saw Dhyanesh Ingle, Patane, I saw one. Don't answer irrelevant questions, sir. Don't waste our time like that. You tell me this is relevant, I will answer it. The word registered office is used in the Act. The word headquarters is not used in the Act. That's all. You only told don't answer irrelevant. Sir, corporate office and registered office are different. Yeah, they are different. See, basically, I'll tell you. This I will explain, because many companies, they'll be having the registered office in, say, Gujarat or Madhya Pradesh. Factory will be there. There, the registered office will be there. But they'll be having a pan-India presence now. So, their corporate office will be in, Maharashtra, in Mumbai. But registered office will be in the state of Gujarat or in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Whereas corporate office will control pan-India operations, MD will sit there, everything will be happening there only. But for communication purposes and all, the core main of the registered office will be there. Registered office is the office mentioned in the company law, MCA website as the registered office. Let me be clear about it. That is called registered office, but that may not be the main office. The main activities may be conducted in some other office, but the registered office which is mentioned in the memorandum, in the MCA website, will be the office address for official communication of legal notices. Okay. No, you agree it is irrelevant. Now, then you should not tell again, don't answer irrelevant questions and all. Okay. Don't give instruction to your teacher on what he should do, what he should not. Okay. So, see, headquarters is a very loose term, usually used in military term. See, the military will have headquarters. So, when a commander or when somebody is there running an army, he will be sitting in one central location. That will be called headquarters. Thereafter, everywhere else, there will be barracks and there will be branches. So that is called headquarters. It is not a legal term. Please ignore it. Registered office is a legal term, which is used in the Companies Act. This is the office which is mentioned in the MCA website as the registered office. It has to be informed within 30 days. On incorporation, within 30 days, you have to inform the registrar of companies about the address of the registered office. More importantly, suppose there is any violation of the law, the directors can be prosecuted. The company can be prosecuted. Now, how to find out the jurisdiction? Which court will have jurisdiction over them? Which magistrate will have jurisdiction over them? That can be decided only based on the registered office. Suppose your registered office is in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Then the High Court of Madhya Pradesh will be your jurisdictional High Court. And suppose in Indore, in Madhya Pradesh, say, for example, you are in some, for example, Bhavra. Okay, Bhavra district or Maheshwar. Okay, then their jurisdictional magistrate will be your jurisdictional magistrate. Okay, their local police station will be your local police station for the purpose of. So tomorrow, if they have to issue a prosecution notice, it will be issued only to the registered office and it will be copied marked to the police station and magistrate in Bhavra, applicable to the district of Bhavra. You understand what I'm saying? So that is where registered office becomes very, very important. Okay. There cannot be two registered office. Okay. Only one. Ek hi hai. You can have a number of corporate office, administrative office, blah, 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 accounting office, and but only one registered office. Okay. Ek hi hai Bhasha, ek hi hai registered office. Okay. Ek hi hai Suraj, ek hi hai Chand, ek hi hai Bhasha, ek hi hai registered office. Okay. The company has informed about the books of accounts. Yeah, books of account, brother, please don't go there. That is coming in accounts. We are talking about registered office. Why are you going there? This is irrelevant. I am following the Dhyanesh Ingle rule. Irrelevant question, not to be answered. Okay. So, books of account can be maintained at a place other than the registered office. That's all. That is not change in registered office. That means there is a registered office. Accounts are maintained in a place other than the registered office for which you have to get permission from the MCA. Okay. How frequently can amend? Baba, 100 times. Daily you amend it. Who is preventing you? If you have the energy to do it, please do it. Because later on you will be seeing, to amend memorandum and articles, you have to pass a special resolution. If you are able to call meeting, get your members, pass special resolution, daily amend your memorandum. No, there is no restriction. How many ever times you want, your convenience, when you want. See, sorry, Mr. Harsh, you are asking question. How many times I will go to bathroom, sir? Yeah, it is your choice. Yeah, you go daily 2 times, 3 times a day. How many times? You can do any number of. If you want to go, please go. Okay, we are not preventing you. There's a procedure laid down. Comply with the procedure. Do it. Enjoy. Okay, no problem. That's why many companies will keep on amending. That's why I tell them, Baba, 1 year you do it in one shot, yeah. Don't keep on coming to me. That's why I tell them, you decide what all you want to do this year. We'll have one board meeting, one general meeting. Everything we'll do in one shot and finish it. Why you are doing 4 or 5 times like that? That is convenience. Otherwise, there is no need. Okay. So I gave this example, Mr. Harsh Kumar Badani, don't mistake me, but think about it. If you keep on asking how many times I'll go to bathroom, sir, it's your convenience. You go today, tomorrow, daily, 2 times, 3 times, 5 times. It's your choice. If you want to go, go. Okay. Correct. I think I made the point about police station and court. That is the real registered office link. Jurisdiction. Where will they be coming? Which jurisdiction they will come? So that is why we are having registered office. That is called jurisdiction. Because under the civil law, there is a rule which says, if you want to file a civil suit, you are a plaintiff, then the suit can be filed only where the defendant resides. That is called territorial jurisdiction. The suit, if you want to file a suit, if you are a Mumbai-based company, you cannot file the suit in Mumbai. You have to file the suit only in the jurisdiction where the defendant resides. For example, we were filing IBC proceedings, insolvency proceedings against one of my clients, was due 1 crore from a Mumbai-based company. My client is a Chennai-based company, but we have to file insolvency petition. Now, I cannot file the insolvency petition in Madras Tribunal, Chennai Tribunal, because this is where my company is having registered office, but that company's registered office is in Mumbai. Therefore, I have to file in Mumbai Tribunal. You now understand why that jurisdiction becomes very important. So we have to check up from the MCA, where is the registered office? Then we found it is in Mumbai. Then all legal notices are to be served only on the Mumbai registered office. And then finally, we have to file the IBC petition, insolvency and board petition only in Mumbai Tribunal. And we have to proceed the case only in Mumbai. Why? Because the registered office is in Mumbai. That is why it's made. Okay. So, what emoji have you put? Let us see. Smiley. Then it's okay. So, thank you for appreciating the humor about my joke. In fact, my guru, Professor K. Anantaraman, used to say there is something called, enabling provisions are there. For example, amendment of Memorandum of Association articles is an enabling provision. You can do it any number of times. Okay, it's an enabling. So for that, my guru used to give this. I gave bathroom example. My guru used to give the example of spittoon. See, in the railway station, there will be something called a spittoon. So if I'm chewing pan, I want to spit. Now I go to the spittoon and spit. Now, how many times I will go and spit? Any number of times. If spittoon is available, go and spit whenever you want. Okay. This is example my guru used to give. That was a more decent example. Sorry, I have been a little more, shall we say, lower level, but spitting, spittoon. Whenever you want, you go this side, you spit, that side, you spit, n number of times you spit. Okay. There is no restriction. Unless you want to inform the Ministry of Government Affairs, some donkey there will decide, memorandum shall be amended only 2 times in a year. They will pass rules. We don't know. Don't tell those fellows. They will do that also. Now we come to liability clause. As we know, the liability of the members of a company is limited. So this clause will state whether the liability is limited or unlimited. Whether the liability is limited by shares or it is limited by guarantee. Got it? So if it is limited by guarantee, then this clause will state the amount up to which each member undertakes to contribute to the assets in case of winding up, to the costs and charges of winding up, etc. So that amount is the limit of his liability. The amount he has agreed to contribute, undertaken to contribute. That is mentioned in this 4th clause. Then, of course, you have the 5th capital clause. This is there only for company having share capital. The amount of share capital which the company is to be registered and the division. Both preference, equity and preference shares will be mentioned here. Also, the number of shares each subscriber to the memorandum intends to take indicated opposite his name. Any provision in the memorandum or articles is continuing, capital clause continuing. In the case of a company limited by guarantee and not having a share capital, shall not have any person a right to participate in the divisible profits of the company otherwise than as a member. See, only okay, please understand it in simple term. I will explain. Don't ask me to re-explain it. Not important from exam point of view. I will explain once. Only members are entitled to participate in the divisible profits. If anybody other than a member is having any right to participate, that is void. That shall be void. Okay. See, that is because many Section 8 companies also will be having limited by guarantee. There they will say, these people can enjoy the benefit and all. You cannot have. Only members can be eligible to participate in the divisible profits. Okay. Non-members are not entitled to any dividend or other participation in the profits of a company limited by guarantee and not having share capital. That is all. That is the meaning of this point. Okay. If you make any non-member eligible for participation, that provision is void. Now we come to subscription clause. Subscription clause. Okay. This is not a separate clause. Up to 5 is a clause. 6 is not a clause. This is the contractual part of the memorandum. Still we give it the number 6. This is the contractual part. Remember, the Memorandum of Association is the contract between the subscribers to the memorandum by which the company comes into existence. In fact, the wordings itself will be, we the several persons whose names are indicated below hereby agree to incorporate ourselves into a company. Okay, so it is their intention is stated there, and once they sign, the contract is completed. It is a contract. The memorandum and articles of association are contractual. According to section 7(1)(a), they shall be filed with the registrar within whose jurisdiction the registered office of the company is proposed to be situated. The memorandum and articles duly signed by all the subscribers to the memorandum. This is Rule 13. Okay, so even this registered office will determine who is your registrar. The jurisdictional registrar will also be determined by the registered office. Okay. Once the subscribers sign the memorandum in the prescribed manner and the ROC issues a certificate of incorporation, there is a binding contract between each member and between the members inter se. Agreed. See, I'm not trying to teach you law. I'm only saying one of the conditions is defendant resides. For that, you have to say. In case of property, yes, you can also where the property is situated. Civil, contractual obligation, civil law, if you are claiming any contractual right, then you are only where the defendant resides. Okay. Good. I'm only giving one of the rules of CPC for filing suit, where the defendant resides or where the cause of action arises. So when the property is situated there, the cause of action arises there. Therefore, you have to file that. Okay. I was waiting for somebody to ask before I explain. Yeah. Inter se is a Latin term which means between the members. Okay. Or inter se. Or amongst the members. Between the members, amongst themselves. Actually, technically, I can remove this. That's over. There's no need for between. Yeah. Because that is the same meaning as inter se. And the members inter se, between themselves. There is a binding contract between each member. There is a binding contract between each member and the company and the members inter se. Okay, that is the correct name. So once the subscribers sign the memorandum, there is a binding contract between each member and the company and the members inter se. So there are so many contracts between. So there are 5 members, each member with the company one contract, then each member with each other. You do the number of permutations and combinations mathematically. Okay, so there are 5 into 5, 5p5 plus 1, each one. So 5 plus 5p5, that is how it will be. Because there will be one contract between each one of them, now 5 contracts, plus 5p5 inter se. contracts are there. So the idea is simple. The memorandum binds them. They are all bound by the memorandum. The company is bound, members are bound to the company and to each other to obey what is mentioned in the memorandum and articles. So, subscription clause in the case of a one-person company, in addition to the normal subscription clause, you also have to add 7th and 8th clause. That is, you have to add, I whose name and address is given below, I am desirous of forming a company in pursuance of Memorandum of Association and agree to take all the shares in the capital of the company. This is to be done only for OPC. This will be there only for OPC. Similarly, 8th clause is there only for OPC. That is, so-and-so shall be nominee in the death of the event of this ordinance. This will be mentioned in the subscription clause. Okay, of OPC only. This is applicable only to OPC. See, this could be a question in MCQ. It's a classic MCQ question. Memorandum of Association of a company limited by guarantee and having a share capital shall be in the format mentioned in form. Shall be in the form given in table B, table D, table E, table C, like that. These are all ideal for MCQ questions. So I don't have to take you through it. It is there in the institute material also. I'm also giving it. Just try to remember it. Company limited by shares, A. Guarantee and not having share capital, B. Guarantee and having share capital, C. Unlimited company not having share capital, D. Unlimited company having share capital, E. So this is memorandum. Articles, limited by shares, same. Limited by shares, limited by guarantee and having share capital. See, here it's changing. Do you notice that? And not having share capital, H. Unlimited company having share capital, I. Not having share capital, J. Okay. So try to remember the form numbers. Now we move on to a detailed study of the forms and so are the clauses. We saw what are the clauses. 6 clauses are there. Name clause, domicile or situation clause, object clause, liability clause, capital clause, association clause. Chehana. Now each one we have to now see in detail. Rules related to name and as to how you can alter it and things like that. Hopefully today I want to complete that also. Complete name clause, possibly even object clause. If I complete, I'll be happy. Let us see. So, first of all, the name stated in the memorandum shall not be identical with or resemble too nearly to the name of an, see that is bad English, but not mine in the law. To be identical with or resemble too nearly the name. So they have added a to there. Be identical with or resemble too nearly to the name of an existing company registered under this act or any previous company law. So for this, there are elaborate rules on how it will be identical or resemble. I told you now. That is why yesterday somebody was asking, can I have Himalaya Limited? Can I have Himalaya Private Limited? No, it's identical. Resemble too nearly. Yeah, Himalaya Limited is Himalaya Private Limited. It too nearly resembles the name. Not allowed. Okay. Even homonyms are not allowed. Sony, not allowed. SONY, SONI. When you tell it is the same, not allowed. Like that. I have had many rejects like this. Then they will ask you to distinguish it somehow. Like that. Sometimes we do it, but rarely we do. Okay. Be such that it is used by the company. Its use by the company will constitute an offense under any law for the time being in force or is undesirable in the opinion of the settled command. So, you cannot have a name that is identical or too nearly resembling the name of another company, an existing company. Also, it cannot be an offense under any law. For example, under the IPC, you cannot have names that are indecent or names like that. Similarly, undesirable names also cannot be there. Also, you cannot have a name that too nearly, that gives the impression that you are government. So you cannot national, that Indian. So you can't have that. If you want to do that, then when you apply, they will ask you, why are you putting Indian? Why you are called Indian? You have to justify. Then only they'll give you. What is an undesirable name? Any word or expression which is likely to give the impression that the company is in any way connected with or having the patronage of central government or state government or local authority, corporation, or body constituted by the central government or state government or entity law. So generally words like Bharat, Indian, national, central, these are all not allowed. If you have a name with that, they will not allow you. They will say it is not prohibited. They will ask you, what are you doing? Give justification. Are you supported by central government? Are you supported by state government? Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, you can't have. Earlier you could, now you can't. After this law, you can't. Earlier they permitted, provided you are able to show some link or something. Now you can't. Such word or expression as may be prescribed. And see what they will say now. Suppose you want to have Tamil Nadu in your name or Maharashtra in your name, they say have it, but not in the beginning. In the middle, within brackets, you have no problem. To distinguish, you have. They don't mind. You can have Chennai Private Limited, Mumbai Private Limited, Mumbai within brackets in the middle of the name. For example, you can say Perfect Instrumentation Mumbai Limited, allowed. So you cannot have Mumbai Instrumentation Limited, not allowed. Perfect Instrumentations, perfect is the name, instrumentations is the activity. They are into instrumentation activity, manufacturing instrumentation devices. Mumbai, maybe there is another perfect industries like that. So now they are saying, hey, we also want the name perfect. Okay, they are perfect industries. You will now change, you distinguish it so that you should become Perfect Instrumentations Private Limited. No, I'm sorry, Perfect Instrumentations Mumbai Private Limited. Allowed. Like that, some distinctions can be done. You can distinguish yourself. What is an undesirable name? Okay, continuing. Rule 8 of the Companies Incorporated Rules determines whether a proposed name is identical with another. It's an elaborate rule. I'm not covering it here. It's too elaborate and not required. It also provides for other rules which may be kept in mind while dealing with the name clause of the Memorandum of Association. Okay. Also, MCA has also directed that the registrar of companies concerned should exercise due care to ensure that the names are not in contravention of the provisions of the Emblems and Names Prevention of Improper Use Act. For example, Indian, Bharat, these are all emblems and names, which are to be very careful. Patronage, support. Patronage means support. Support of the government. Are you having any support? Patronage. Patron means a person who supports financially or by giving any support. Now, as we told you, if you want to either incorporate a company or change the name of a company, you should apply for the name. So, what if the company's name includes state name before the name clause comes into? Oh, you mean before the act was amended? New act came. It's okay. Old companies which are incorporated, no problem. So long as there is no objection, they can continue. Fresh, if you want to incorporate, these rules will apply. Old companies continue. No problem. Or because at that time they would have given some justification and only they would have got the name. So they will not be again reinvestigated. But now if you want to go for a fresh name, or change that name, then this rule will apply. Because there also, at that time also, there were certain rules. So they have complied with that, only got the name now. So they will be allowed. Is there any provision to explain the meaning of the name specified in run? Can you be more clear, sir? I'm not able to understand what you are asking. Is there any provision to explain? Yeah, see, when you're applying for the name, now they will ask you, what is the name, especially if it's an acronym or if it is a first letters of words and all, you have to give the expansion. So you have to give the explanation to justify. Definitely. There is a provision there for giving it. Why you want to have that name. Okay. Also, this is not the end of it. You got some more conditions. See, for example, it is not enough if your name is not identical with that of a name of an existing company. Later on, you will find that your name should not be identical with a trademark registered, a registered trademark. That trademark holder can object, which is why when we are doing a name search now, we won't do only in ROC, in the company list. We will also see the trademark registry. There is also a public document available. So it's a combined search. If there is any trademark registered with the same name, that will also be given. Because if you see, if there is already an existing mark, they won't allow you to register with that. Because the mark holder can come and object. He may not have incorporated a company, but he is the owner of a trademark. So that also is there. That is also, it's also not allowed. So a lot of conditions are there for us. That's why, see, name clause alone, this reservation of name alone can be a subject of one seminar. We can keep talking about it practically. But from your intermediate exam point of view, if you know this much, it is more than enough. Okay. If you're a company secretary, maybe you might have to do a little more on desirable name, undesirable name, like that. You might want to, because they actually practice. For us, it's only information. Okay. So don't go too deep. In fact, there's a general trend of the institute to make your syllabus easier for you, not to have unnecessary things, rather to make it simple and relevant. See, what you have understood from this basic knowledge you have got. Company cannot be incorporated with the name of an existing company or identical or too nearly resembling. It cannot have undesirable name. It cannot have names that indicate that it is supported by central government, state government, or some government body. It cannot have indecent names like that. So these are basic rules. Within this framework, you have to be careful while asking for a name. Okay. So you have to make an application in the form and such manner and accompanied by such fee to the registrar, and you will also, as you said, give the reasoning and all that as the name of the proposed company or the name to which the company proposes to change its name. So two situations are there. That is why this section I didn't cover at the time of incorporation, because in incorporation, if I cover, you will be confused. Here I am bringing it. Why? Because this is common for both incorporation, at the time of incorporation, name of a proposed company. After incorporation, you want to change the name to which the company proposes to change its name. Both are covered. Upon receipt of an application for reservation of name, the registrar may, on the basis of information and documents furnished, reserve the name for a period of 20 days. Do you remember I said 20? On the 21st day, your name gone. Okay. So 20 days. That's why I said 21. 20 days. Okay. You can keep it. If within 20 days, you do not complete the formality for incorporation or at least make an application for incorporation or change of name. Sorry, you have to see, nothing will happen. You have to again pay the fee and again get it reserved. Where after reservation of the name, it is found that the name was applied by furnishing wrong or incorrect information, then if the company has not been incorporated, the reserved name shall be cancelled and the person who has made the application shall be liable to a penalty which may extend to 1 lakh rupees. See, suppose you have given a declaration that your name is, see, for example, you are giving some information that you are the owner of a trademark and all, which is found to be wrong, then the name will be cancelled and the person will be liable to a penalty of 1 lakh. If now, suppose based on this, by inadvertence, the company has been incorporated, the registrar may, after giving the company an opportunity of being heard, direct the company to change its name within a period of 3 months after passing an ordinary resolution, or take action for striking off the name of the company from the register. Or, as you already know now, suppose the company has already acquired assets, incurred liabilities, then you cannot strike off. So you have to make a petition for winding up of the company. Okay. So this is the thing, right? These are all basically easy topics, nothing great about it, nothing to be worried. Now we move on to articles. The articles means the articles of association of a company as originally framed or as altered from time to time are applied in pursuance of any previous company law or of this act. Articles are the bylaws or internal rules and regulations that govern the conduct of affairs of the company, right? So, memorandum is the constitution, brings into existence. Articles are the bylaws, the internal rules and regulations how the company, for example, how many board meetings, how the board will meet, how the general meeting will be conducted, how the members will poll, what will be the voting by, all that will cover. How the board of directors will borrow money, what is the power of the board to borrow, when they should get the approval of the shareholders. Everything will be contained in the articles. The standard articles is there. You remember, table F. Table F is the most popular form. That is Articles of Association of a Company Limited by Shares, Table F. Table F is the most popular form. Table A is the most popular form of memorandum. Table F is the most popular form of articles. 95% of companies will be Table A, Table F. Okay. 2,500 companies are incorporated. Till date, I'm yet to do Table B to, or other than A and F, I have never done anything. Even Section 8 company I had, but Section 8 company was limited by shares, not by guarantee. I've done 4 Section 8 companies, that is Section 25 and 1 Section 8 recently, but I have done only Table F and Table A. I have never done other than that. Guarantee I have never done. Because nobody wants it. Okay? If you want to do it, you do it. Encourage people to do it and do it. Okay. So the articles of a company shall contain regulations for the management of the company. Okay. They also contain additional matters for its, whatever, basically about management, right? At last we come to this entrenchment. Yeah. Somebody was telling, entrenchment like that. See, there are certain parts of the Articles of Association which you don't want to be capable of being amended by simple method. You want to make it difficult to amend. So entrenchment is the process by which amendment or alteration of a clause in the Articles of Association of a company is made more difficult. See, that day I had a question from somebody who said, is this an example of entrenchment? That is, the private limited company contains the 3 points, limits the number of members, restricts the transfer of shares, prohibits public offer to the public. Is this an entrenchment? No, that is not an example of entrenchment. But that clause can be entrenched. You can say that you cannot alter this clause unless you have a superior majority. You understand? Yeah. AOA states the procedure. Absolutely correct. Procedural, correct. Memorandum states what the company can do. Articles will say how the company will do it. Procedural. Beautifully said. Yeah, you are very correct. The memorandum is the substantive part. What? The articles are the procedural part. How? So, if you want to amend any, you can entrench a provision in the articles by making it difficult. So, usually the articles can be altered by passing a special resolution. What is a special resolution? You are all, I'm sure you have studied it somewhere or the other. If I presume that you don't know it, I will be guilty of doctrine of constructive notice. I have to presume knowledge in you because somewhere or the other you would have studied BCom or foundation itself. They might have taught you. They are teaching you so many things in foundation. Maybe this also they have taught you. Anybody, please put up your definition of special resolution here. Just to put the definition of special resolution here. In the query pad, whatever, anybody. I will not tell what is special resolution because it will be taught to you in management and administration. I can also teach you. But before I teach you, you guys are all too good. You people are educating me. Therefore, so Muhammad Aslam, 75%. Alok Ashwani, 2/3 majority. Where do you get the 2/3, Baba? Where do you get the 2/3? There it is mentioned in the Companies Act. Where 75% is mentioned in the Companies Act. See how quickly you are. I know you will rush to give these answers. Anybody can put up the correct answer for special resolution. What is a special resolution? Correct answer. The Aslan, the first correct. No. Both are wrong. 70% is wrong. Your answer is wrong. 2/3 majority wrong. Okay, so what is special resolution will be let it be a black box. Okay, I will teach you. Not no today. I don't have time. Next class I'll teach you. By then you do research and come. All of you 3/4. See, yeah, I'll explain why there's entrenchment. But 3/4. Okay, let us exhaust all the possibilities. 2/3, 3/4, 75%. Everything will exhaust. Then you go to the section and do the research. It's there in your institute material. Go to the appropriate. Go to management and administration part. Take special resolution, read it. If anywhere they say 75%, 3/4, I'll change my name. I'll change my name to Rajinikanth because Srikanth, Rajinikanth will change it. Point is different. Check it out. The section wording is different. That's why I'm telling. Yeah, you are trying to make a guess. And by and large, many people, even those who have read it, even I'm telling you, chartered accountants and company secretaries, forget. They will say 3/4 majority, 70%, 2/3 majority. Where they get the 2/3 majority, God only knows. Okay. So, Alok Shivlani, you are guessing means good. Your guess is wrong. Your guess can be wrong. No? Now, even if they copy and paste, I'm happy, G. At least you will know it. Why not copy and paste? Nothing wrong. Okay. That is how you learn. Anyway, this today's class, we will not do it. But in the Wednesday class, I will tell you. I'll have some time, I'll tell you. Because the word special resolution will be coming again and again. Throughout our lecture, not only here, right up to that, it will come. So, I will explain to you what it is. But aaj to nahi, I'm a little tired, no. Another 15 minutes, I have to cover at least 60 to 70 slides. So, let me try my best to move. But special, I also want you to do research. You go to, when I say do research, I mean, go to the appropriate section or content in your institute material and read it and tell me what is special resolution. That's all. Homework. Okay. Alok ji, I will change my name. Alok, I will change the term. Do homework. Your homework is read the institute material and give me the definition of special resolution. Okay. Thank you. Okay. You are laughing. I'm so happy. Okay. Abdul is coming nearer and nearer. 3 times majority. No, I want exact wordings. Otherwise, my students should be accurate. If somebody said their father is a student of K. Sanantharaman, then he is an indirect student of K. Sanantharaman because he is my student now. So, my guru, if I am saying I am your guru, then he is your guru. So, you are now indirectly student of K. Sanantharaman. Then indirect students of K. Sanantharaman should be accurate, pakka, perfect. When you give the answer, it should be the answer. No other answer should be possible. Loosely using English, not allowed. Exact wording should be given. Do the homework here. Ajto, you leave it. Why not? One day you sleep without knowing, nothing will happen, hand will not burst. Tomorrow you do. Okay. Or after this class, 9 to 10, 11:30. Some of you are studying till 2 a.m. and all. No? In that time, you do it. Okay. Now, why entrenchment is there? Somebody is asking. Very good. See, there are, for example, I will tell you one simple example. The Articles of Association will contain a provision that says, where the board of directors want to borrow money up to 1 crore, they can do it. Above 1 crore, it has to be, they have to get the approval of the shareholders. So this is there in the articles. Now we are the members of the company. We don't want this provision to be easily changed. Therefore, we say we will make it more difficult beyond special resolution. So, even going by our friend Mr. Abdul's, he has copy-pasted it. Votes casting, even then I will teach it in the next class. Anyway, sir, copy-pasting is not enough, Sarvajit Kashyap. Understand what you have put there also. Yeah, now only slowly you are coming. 3 times. Okay, so the votes cast in favor shall be not less than 3 times the number of votes cast against, if any, by members present and voting. Okay, this is how it should be. Okay, don't worry. This will be taught in detail in management administration. Right now, you have come out of your 2/3, 3/4, 75%. Now, all that, throw it. Now onwards, 3 times. The votes cast in favor shall be not less than 3 times the number of votes cast against, if any. Okay? If any, because 0 is also possible. 0 votes against, 1 vote for. Special resolution passed na? 0 votes against, 1 vote for. 5 members are present. Resolution is put to vote. 0 votes against. 2 people agree. 0 votes against. No vote against. 2 agree. 3 keep quiet. Neutral. Have I passed a special resolution? 5 members are attending. Show of hands. No votes against. 2 members for. Remaining 3 keep quiet. Neutral. Not voted. Have I passed a special resolution? This is now a practical question. If you have understood the definition, now you will know how to answer this question. Yes, because number of votes cast in favor should be 3 times the number of votes cast against, if any. That's why I kept on stressing if any. So 0 means 0 into 3. 0 into 3 is still 0. So anything more than 0, special resolution passed. Okay? So that's right. While you are wasting your time in details, you are also not able to understand the important provisions well. You understand this problem? Small issues, you are breaking your head. Whereas the really important things, you are confused. So correct them. Become strong in important point. The details are no issues, nothing, no big deal. Okay, entrenchment. With that, I think we have to complete today. The articles may contain provisions for entrenchment to the effect that specified provisions of the articles may be altered only if conditions or procedures that are more restrictive. So now that you are all very thorough in special resolution. Sir, 75%, please don't bring into my thing. Already they have put up the correct answer. Just to do some, Gaganji, you do some research. Go and read the section. Okay, already it's put up by Mr. Sarojit Kashyap. Okay. So 3 times you have said now. Now, what you do, you say 3 is not enough. More than that. Or all should agree like that. That is up to you. So the manner of inclusion is the provisions for entrenchment shall only be made either on formation of a company. So at the time of formation, you can say this clause can be altered only by unanimous consent. All members agreeing like that. Or by an amendment in the articles agreed to by all the members of the company in the case of a private company, or a special resolution in the case of a public company. So, if you want to make any provision entrenched after the incorporation, if you are a public company, you want to pass a special resolution. Private company, all the members should agree. Okay? Where the articles contain provisions for entrenchment, whether made on formation or by amendment, the company shall give notice to the registrar of such provisions in such form and manner as may be prescribed. Okay? Good. Thank you, Ji. Thank you very much. Okay? So nice of you. So, this is entrenchment. Entrenchment is to make it difficult for amendment. That's all. We already know that the article should be in the respective forms and all. Okay? The company may adopt any of these forms also. The model articles can be blindly adopted. It need not have articles. It can adopt one of this. Okay? But some of the earlier companies, they have their own articles. For example, in the old law, you could adopt what was known as table A for articles. I never used to adopt table A. I will have my own articles. I have prescribed my own articles. But nowadays we don't. We adopt table F and we go. Okay? But table, whatever articles you are having in those days now, it should not be contradictory to the table. Okay? Suppose the articles are silent, then the appropriate provisions of the model articles will prevail. Okay? Now, if the registered articles of a company does not exclude or modify the regulations contained in the model articles, those regulations will become applicable. Okay? So, if you want, you can have your own articles, or you may adopt all or any of the clauses in the model articles. Now, earlier I used to have my own articles. I have my own standard articles, which all my companies I do. Because I found that table A, I can do better than table A, so I have done better than table A. But nowadays, because I'm totally out of this nonsense law, they say, oh, this MCA is so mess. So better not play a game. Whatever table F says, I will adopt it straight away. We do it. Straight away, we take table F and we adopt it. Okay, but in case we are having our own articles, then if our articles are silent, table F will apply. Okay, please be careful. Articles cannot contradict the Companies Act. Articles, the provision in the articles cannot override the Companies Act. Companies Act is superior to the Memorandum and Articles. Please remember that. You can, something is stated in the section, your articles cannot go beyond that. Please be aware of that. Okay, so Act will override Memorandum and Articles. Please remember that's what I said. Save as otherwise expressly provided in this Act. Wherever in this Act they say your memorandum can provide differently, articles can provide differently. In those cases alone, memorandum and articles can be different from the Act. Otherwise, the memorandum and articles will be subservient to the Act. Act will override memorandum and articles. Okay? And the provisions of this Act will have effect notwithstanding anything contrary to the contained in the memorandum or articles or any agreement executed by a company or any resolution. Whatever you are doing, you should be in accordance with the Companies Act. You should not violate the Companies Act. Okay? Whether the same be registered, executed, etc. Any provision contained in the memorandum, articles, agreement, or resolution shall, to the extent to which it is repugnant. Repugnant means unacceptable or not in accordance with. Repugnant means unacceptable or not in accordance with, contrary to the provisions of this Act. It will become void. Okay? Be void. It will become or be void as the case may be. Right? So, to the extent that there is a contradiction between memorandum and Act, whatever is said in the memorandum will become void. So, section 6 starts with the word save as otherwise. This means any other section says that article can provide differently, then such provision will be valid. For example, 47 deals with voting power of members. We'll be seeing that. So, 47 is applicable to a private company subject to its articles. So, private company articles can provide, section 47 is not applicable to it. Like that. Okay. Similarly, appointment of additional directors, if there is a provision in the articles, that will prevail. If there is no provision in the articles, only then Act will prevail. Like that. We have another 5 minutes. I will continue with whatever I want to talk. The memorandum and article shall, when registered, bind the company and the members. We saw now it is a contract. Okay. The company is bound to the members are bound to the company, and also intrastate. Okay. But they are bound to abide by the articles, but they are not liable to each other. Means this does not create any liability. All money is equal to money. All amounts payable to any member to the company under the memorandum shall be debt due from him to the company. Remember, MOA and AOA create a contract between the company and its members and the members interstate. But a non-member such as director has no right to sue under MOA or AOA. Okay. The articles of a company contained a clause that on the bankruptcy of a member, his share should be sold to the other shareholders at a price fixed by the directors. B, a shareholder was adjudicated bankrupt. His trustee in bankruptcy claimed that he was not bound by these provisions and should be at liberty to sell the shares at the true value. Now, see, the trustee was bound by the articles as the share was purchased by B upon the terms mentioned in the articles. B having agreed to the terms, the trustee cannot deny it. Because trustee is not in his own name. He is only a trustee for the estate of the deceased member, dead member. Therefore, it is binding on the trustee. This is Eli's case. Please don't ask me why I have put this photo here. Okay. Why I have put this photo here, you guess. Okay. Why I have put this photo here, you have to guess. In a way, if you guess that why I have put it here, my mother tongue will be known to you. My mother tongue will be known to you because it is a pun. It is a pun. And if you understand that pun, then my mother tongue will be known to you. The articles of a company provided that Eli should be a solicitor for life to the company and should not be removed from office except for mouse. Eli means mouse. Okay. So yeah, Eli. Correct. The articles of a company should be that Eli should be the solicitor for life to the company and should not be removed from office except for misconduct. Later on, he also became a member of the company. But after employing him as a solicitor for a number of years, the company discontinued his services. He, being a member, sued the company for damages for breach of the contract. Now, please understand, a suit can be filed only in a particular capacity. When you are filing a suit as a member, you can only claim your right as a member. But here, Eli is filing the suit as a member, but he is claiming his right as a solicitor. Now, as a solicitor, there is no privity of contract. As a solicitor, Eli was not party to the articles. As a member, yes. But as a solicitor, no. He's a third party. Therefore, he cannot. There must have been another contract between the company. On incorporation, the company should enter into a separate contract with Eli. And that contract will be binding on the company and Eli can sue. But the articles is a contract only between the company and the members and members' interest. As a solicitor, Eli has no right under the articles. His case was dismissed on the ground that Eli as a solicitor was not party to the articles. He must prove a contract independent of the articles, and in the absence of such contract, he couldn't sue as there was no infringement of his right as a member. The right infringed is as a solicitor, for which he has no remedy because he is not, there's no contract. Okay. But suppose there had been a separate contract with Eli as a solicitor between the company and Eli, but articles, company is not bound. Okay, this is, yeah. Maybe if time permits, we will try to share. We will share some of my experiences, beginning of my career. Let us see. If time permits, we'll share. If time permits, and if it has some relevance to company law, we will share. Fantastic. Yeah. In my mother tongue, Eli is called, Eli means rat or mouse or whatever, small rodent, a small rodent. Okay. Good show. Exactly 9 o'clock. So I will stop here. Tomorrow we will move on to the doctrine of ultra vires quickly and then move on. Okay. Oh, maybe I don't know. In Kannada also Eli means mouse. I didn't know that. Okay. In Tamil it is Eli means mouse. Okay. Good. Thank you. And I did not feel the strain of teaching you for 3 hours because you people have been extremely participant, throwing up good questions and comments and all that. Keep the questions coming. Keep the comments going. See you on Wednesday, inshallah. Till then, bye. Good night.